Brainy, Brainy the cat, Brainy the RPG cat. It's a kitty cat.
Hello, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every race, class, and subclass. Welcome to another episode of Brainy the RPG Cat. Tonight we're doing Cardcatter Brainy. We have lots of great new cards from both Pokemon and Magic the Gathering to show tonight. Put together, from a collection that I was collecting and leaving sealed in a box for, a period of maybe about 3 weeks before I decided to come down. Money's been a little tight lately. I haven't been able to spend as much as I can as I have in the past on whole TCG card packs. But I'm doing the best that I can, and so over time, I do just kind of start to accumulate things like single TCG packs or some of these specialty deck sets that I get on sale. So all of this, also I'm also able to get these accumulating on store credit, mainly from All Seas Collectibles in Aurora, Colorado. Usually the main source that I use in order to buy card sets in bulk. So even though sometimes I'm remiss in mentioning it, I do want to say thank you very much to All Seas Collectibles in Aurora, Colorado for assisting me with the continued provision of TCG cards that I can purchase and then I can show during this segment. In addition to that, of course, if you're on the lookout for single, inexpensive TCG cards, visit greatmedia.games and use the code 10Finny at checkout for 10% off your online purchase. They're great if you want to find something specific that you need in order to finish one very difficult deck. So, thank you very much to them. Also, once again, we want to mention our friends at Mobius Worlds Publishing. Please sign up for the mailing list for Well of the Worlds Kickstarter, a new module for Prowlers and Paragons from Michael Serbrook, Rem Alternus, and Mobius Worlds Publishing. So, thank you everybody for that have supported the stream so far, and thank you everybody for coming in. Let's go ahead and let's start doing our unboxing. There is a lot of material we're going to have to cover on, and we're going to start with this. This is a gift set. This is Sun and Moon GX Challenge Box. So, my understanding is that, from Pokemon Sword and Shield forward, they've developed a new letter-based a tournament legality system that permits cards to be legal in the event that they are cards from previous sets, but are cards that are relatively common. And these include cards like Boss's Orders, Ultra Ball, Great Ball, and normal Pokeball, cards from sets that we all get. But I also believe that Sun and Moon was probably the card that the series that came out, and it was the last one that didn't have the letter grading system on it. So, regrettably, I don't think any of these cards are going to be tournament legal, but this was still a set that I had wanted, mostly due to the fact that, it's Alola Ninetales, and I think since I started, picking up the Pokemon TCG cards again, I've started to gain an appreciation for Alola Ninetales. So, this one, particularly caught my eye is that you can see it has a retail sticker on it that says roughly about $60. And so, it contains two booster packs. It contains 2 foil cards, standard Alola Ninetales, and then Ninetales GX, and also a full theme deck for Alola Ninetales. And in addition to that, then there are 2 booster packs. Both of them come from Sun and Moon Burning Shadow set. So let's go ahead and let's start opening up this one. Let's see. You know, they really do make these boxes in a way where you can't open it without destroying it, so I do apologize for all the purist collectors in the audience, you know, as I continue to just rend at the corner here and get this gift package open. Alright. Alright, so let's pull out the internal package. Okay, and so, as I had mentioned before, this one has a standard Alola Ninetales. It also has a Ninetales GX card. I just realized, yeah, this was a double blister, so hang on a second. I need to pull the top half off. And so, I'm starting to really enjoy collecting Pokemon cards because, well, let's face it, I just want all the extras. I want all the additional goodies. And so, here's the GX Ninetales. Okay, HP 210. Standard attack is Ice Blade. Does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon without applying weakness and resistance. And then Blizzard Edge, which is 160, which allows you to discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Also a GX move, Ice Path. Move all damage counters from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. You can't use Pokemon 1 or more than GX attack. Okay, so I need to figure out, yeah, the particular rules of this. And so another significant issue when it comes to GX cards is that, yeah, they're probably no longer tournament legal banned, because I think the Pokemon X cards and the Pokemon cards that evolve from those are, you know, just a little bit more faster moving. They're a little bit more tournament competitive. They're not. That's whack. Okay, so I have found the hidden code card. I'm just going to take that. I'm going to put it aside. Okay, this is the standard Alola Ninetales card. It only has the foil on the image. The ability is Luminous Barrier and Aurora Beam for 80. So, Luminous Barrier prevents all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon GX or EX. So, this one is actually preventative of any damage that you would do with a Pokemon GX, but if Pokemon GXs are no longer tournament legal, then, well, that's something of a wash. Taking the 2 booster packs, I'm putting them aside. Because the first thing that we want to look at here, we want to look at the full 60 card Luminous Frost starter pack that comes with this. Alright, so once again, you know, at least, you know, I'm able to open this up on the stream, but once again, they don't do you any favors when it comes to this packaging. Alright, so what ordinarily comes in a Pokemon starter pack is certainly it's in this pack. And okay, so this is the paper training mat, and I don't think there's anything too aesthetically lovely about this one. Let me unfold it a little bit. And so really the fact that, you know, it does have a black and white, both a black and white section, and it has a color section. And then in between, there's a picture of Rockruff's evolved form. I'm trying to remember specifically what it was called. You know, and that's also the sun form as opposed to the moon form of that Pokemon. Let's see. Okay, so cardboard tokens and cardboard GX stamp. Yeah, Lycanroc. That's the one. Lycanroc, the sun form of Lycanroc. And this one... Well, okay, so this is the checklist. And so it has basic rules on one side. And then just a checklist of multiple cards in the Sun and Moon Burning Shadows section. So, I'm not going to get many opportunities in order to get additional versions of this deck, so it's probably not that I'm going to collect these in hopes that I'm going to collect everything in the card set. This is a... Well, maybe I can bring it a little closer. It gets even foggier the closer it gets, so... but this is a Alola Ninetales flip coin. Alright, so... well, one thing I should do, yeah. Once again, put the code card away. The opposite side of the same blister pack has Alola Ninetales, and it also has Luminous Barrier and Aurora Beam on that, so we do get 2 with this set. And, so, it's very sparkly, you know, unlike a significant amount of other... See, I think if I just hold it at that angle, you can finally see the Ninetales. But, it's really extra shiny, and it's due to the fact that it's extra shiny. It's bouncing directly off of the light from the cam, so that one's a little bit difficult to see. Oh, now you can see the detail. Okay, that's good. Okay, I think we put aside the code card, so should be all right to look at the rest of the what's in the rest of the starter. This is some lovely Ninetales art on the cardboard deck box that comes with it, and it's the same on both sides. You know, and sometimes I save the deck boxes, but I probably use them for other things like extra deck sleeves and all of that. Okay, so 4 energy cards. Okay, this is Simipour, Stage 1, evolves from Panipore. Okay. Does Scratch for 30, Aqua Reflect for 50, and makes you move an energy card from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. Okay. So, Alolan Sandshrew, basic, HP 60, a defense curl, flip a coin if it's heads, give all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks during your opponent's next turn. So after you manage to do the single move, then that prevents damage from to your Pokemon during the next turn. And then Ice Ball for 30. Okay, another energy card. Timer Ball. Flip 3 coins for each head. Search your deck for an evolution Pokemon. Reveal it. And then put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Escape Rope. Okay. Each player switches their active Pokemon with their bench Pokemon. Some standards in here. There's a Fire Energy. So I guess we already know what the other energy type is going to be in the starter deck. This is Horsey, HP 60, Water Arrow, does 10 damage to an opponent's Pokemon. Do not apply weakness or resistance. Howl, which allows you to draw 3 cards. A Bouffalant, HP 120. Bouffant Head for 30 during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And Knockover for 80, which allows you to discard any stadium in play. Alright. Another energy card. Big Masalada trainer card. Heal 20 damage and remove a special condition from your active Pokemon. Masalada, of course, is the street food that is very popular all around the Alolan region. Rescue Stretcher. Choose one, put a Pokemon from your discard pile from your hand, or shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. I wish I could have one for real. Yeah, they look pretty good. And so this is Alolan Vulpix, which is definitely what we need in order to pull out the two ace Ninetales that are in this set, as well as the GX. Powder Snow requires no energy. Flip a coin if your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, or do Icy Snow for 30. Okay, another Fire Energy. Here's a Panpour. So, the other, I think, yeah, the Pan Sage, I believe, evolves from this one. HP 70 does Water Gun for 10. Nest Ball, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your hand, and put it onto your bench, and then shuffle the deck. Alright, so, Water Energy. Here's Pansear. This is the first card that we see that actually does require the Fire Energy. Okay, HP 70 does Flare for 10. Okay, here's another Alolan Ninetales, but this one actually is just a basic card. And it does have the exact same abilities as the other two that are in this set. Another Fire Energy. A Professor Kukui. Draw 2 cards. During this turn, your Pokemon's attack do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, and before applying weakness and resistance. Heatmore, a 110 HP. Odor Sleuth allows you to flip 2 coins for each heads. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand, and then Searing Flame for 60. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Okay, so another energy card. Let me see. This is Alolan Sandslash, and so the evolved form of the Alolan Sandshrew. Shush Rush. Once during your turn, you may draw a card, or Smash Turn does 50 HP, and then switch an active Pokemon with a bench Pokemon. Another energy card. This is a Seadra. Does a Water Arrow. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Do not apply weakness or resistance. And then How, again, allows you to draw 3 cards. This is Fire, Energy. Okay. This is a Kingdra. Yeah, so there is a Seadra somewhere in here. Brine, this attack does 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. Do not apply weakness or resistance. And Tornado Shot for 90. Discard an energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Do not apply weakness and resistance. Okay. Another Alolan Sandshrew. Another Water Energy. Another Timer Ball. Another Wishful Baton. Okay. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is knocked out from your opponent's attack, move 3 basic energy cards from that Pokemon into one of your bench Pokemon. Okay. 1 Lana. Lana is probably just like a water trainer that is on your side when you're playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. Lana heals 50 damage from each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached to it. Okay. Another Alolan Vulpix. Another energy. Another Professor Kukui. This is Energy Retrieval. 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Another Water Energy. Horsey, and this is what the Seadra evolves from. HP 60, Water Arrow. And then another Alolan Sandslash. Another Simipour. And so, there continues to be Fire Energy, but I think the only Pokemon that we truly need it for is Pansear. So, make of that what you will. I mean, it's only a starter deck after all. Does Flare for 10. a Nest Ball, a Simisear. This is the first time we've seen the evolved form. Scratch does 90 HP, does Scratch for 30, and Flare Recharge for 50, and attach an energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Alright, so another Water Energy, another Panpour, another Heatmore. Oh yeah, Heatmore. Heatmore is also a very strong card in this set, and it is probably the ace card that you would use if you had Fire Energy on the field. So, another energy card, another How, another Alolan Vulpix, another Bruxish, a Fire Energy, and a Seadra. So, you know, all in all, pretty decent set. You definitely are going to need both, all three of the Alolan Ninetales in order to run it, and of course that also includes the GX version, and so that's probably what would make this as strong as it needs to be. All right, so let me see, what else do we have? Okay, so yeah, we put aside the 3 booster packs that came with this. Oh, actually, no, it's only 2. Okay, it's only 2 in this gift set. Okay, so these are both from the Sun and Moon Burning Shadows set. And so, let's just open this first one. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of pack ripping, but you know, it's probably slightly more heavy on the Magic the Gathering side tonight. Okay, so starting off, we have Fairy-type Pokemon. Fairy-type Pokemon no longer exist in the game, and if there is still legal Fairy-type Pokemon in a card set, they are treated as Psychic-type and use Psychic Energy now. So, Cutiefly is an HP 30, does Fairy Wind for 10. Tynamo is an Electric-type, HP 40. Does Aqua Shock for 10. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any energy on it, this attack does 30 more damage. Alright. Duskull, Psychic type, HP 60. Dark Guidance puts a basic Pokemon from your discard pile and into your bench, or Spooky Shot for 20. Inkay's Dark type, HP 60. Constrict, flip a coin if heads your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, or Tackle for 20. Stuffle, Baby Doll Eyes. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn, or Tackle for 20. Po-Town, this is a stadium, and this is also a foil card. Whenever any player plays a Pokemon from their hand to evolve a Pokemon, put 3 damage counters on it. Meowstick is actually a Psychic type. HP 90. Allure allows you to draw 3 cards, or Hand Kinesis does 10 times 10 damage for each card in your hand. Okay. Psy-Kitty, yeah. Steel Energy, another Simisear. Mount Lanakila, which is another Stadium card. The retreat cost of the basic Pokemon to play, both yours and your opponent's, is 1 energy more. Okay, let me take a moment because I still needed to pull the code card out of that. And then the final one is Noctile, HP 90, normal type. Hypnoblast does 30. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. And then Night Raid, which is 70. Your opponent reveals their hand, discard a Pokemon from it. Alright. And so here's the last pack that is Sun and Moon, part of the gift set. Alright. Alright. Okay, this time I'm starting to remove the code cards in advance. Alright, so. Okay, Noibat, HP 50, does agility for 10. Flip a coin if hands prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to the Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. Another Stuffle. A Mudbray. Fighting type, HP 80. Stomp does 20 plus if heads, the attack does 20 more damage. So Dynamo is an HP 40. Does electric type Aqua Shock for 10. Oh yeah, I think we've already seen that card. This is Oddish, HP 50 grass type. Poison Powder. Opponent's active Pokemon is not poisoned. Okay, so we got a reverse foil Venipede. Bug Bite for 10. HP 70. And Venoshock for 20. So this is a little harder to read. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 40 more damage. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Turtonator, HP 130, fire type. Flame Cloak does 30 damage and attach a fire energy card from your discard pile to a Pokemon. Or Heat Blast for 70. Alright, so water energy card. Olivia trainer card. Search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon GX. Reveal them and then put them into your hand and then shuffle your deck. Okay, so then Keyaway, another trainer card. Search your deck for up to 4 fire energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck until your turn ends. I mean, this might be something that I would actually want to boost my starter with, because there is no card that allows you to search for fire energy, and there is fire energy in that deck. And then finally, this is Rhydon, HP 110. Rock Tumble does 80, and the attack's damage isn't affected by resistance. And then Megahorn does 120 damage if flip a coin if tails. This attack does nothing. And so, despite its limitations, this is an extremely strong card for being a normal card. This one's actually that might be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the Pokemon X in other sets. Okay, so that is the end of Pokemon Sun and Moon. And what can I say is that, you know, like I said, an enormous amount of the cards, probably not cards I can actually play with, but they're more than decent when it comes to collecting, especially when it comes to the sheer amount of foil, Alolan, Ninetales cards in it. So this is the other Pokemon set that I was hoping to show you. Okay, this one is Klara Premium Tournament Collection. I managed to pick this one up today. Klara, of course, is the trainer from the DLC for, I believe it is Pokemon Sword. Yeah, I believe it's Pokemon Sword. Klara is a diva, is a want-to-be singer, and also a master of poison type Pokemon. So, what's in this set is a full art foil supporter, a card featuring Klara, 3 additional foil supporter cards with Klara, 65 card sleeves with Klara, a sturdy deck box, a large metallic coin, 2 coin condition markers, 6 tournament ready damage dice, 7 TCG booster packs, and a code card for TCG Live. So this is a pretty packed set. And so, just like the Sun and Moon set, this retailed for about $10 left. This was $50 instead of $60. Once again, you know, I got a significant amount of this in trade-in, so you don't have to worry about my wallet when it comes to that. When it comes to sheer box size, is that I tore open a full gift box in order to get roughly about half of the cards that are actually going to be in this one. So let's go ahead and let's open this one up. Alright. It looks like a milk carton. I endeavor to open it like it's a milk carton. Okay, so here are damage counters. Just right at the very top of the box. And so, as I had said at the very top of the stream, you know, probably the reason I enjoy collecting Pokemon more is simply because of all the really nice add-ons that they put into every specialty box. Okay, so this is the hard deck box. And I can also feel it's pretty heavy, so yeah, a majority of the cards is going to be inserted into this. Alright. And so it does have the exact same design that's on the outside of the box, which I personally think was a very good one. I think I'll just leave it facing the back so you can see that one better. Yeah, you like that one a lot. Okay, so this is, well, okay. So this package here is going to have the full art Klara card and the foil Klara cards that are in there. So this has a giant coin in it. And the giant coin, of course, is of Klara as well. It's a lovely pink color. I don't think the pink shows up really well on the feed. And so there's a few hollow marks on that, but not nearly as much as was on the Alolan Ninetales. So if I hold it that way, yeah, you can see what the basic design of it is. Alright. So, and finally, we have a set of custom sleeves. Custom sleeves have the same art. But you know, it's really great that they're capable of including them. Yeah, and sleeves too. So yeah, like I said, you know, this is a more recent set than the Sun and Moon set was, of course, and so they just decided to put it in slightly smaller packaging than the than this set that we're looking at right here. But, you know, this was $10 less, and it came with a lot more stuff, including a lot more booster packs. So, talking of which, I think I can open up, yeah, the front end of this. And so, as you can see, is that these are from sets that we've opened in previous episodes. 1, 2, 3 Silver Tempest boosters. 1, 2... Astral Radiance boosters, and 1 Brilliant Stars booster, and 1 Fusion Strike booster. So all of them boosters in the Sword and Shield set. Let me see what else do we have inside of the box. The bonus code card has not turned up yet. I do believe that it's in the clear package. Okay. And so you can see the inside of the box, you know, has a separator. The separator is permanent. I can't remove it. But it does have the same art on the inside. So that's very snazzy. So I had a choice between 2 trainers. The other one was I'm spacing on his name right now, but it was the trainer of Team Galactic in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And so, I don't know. I think maybe they were going with a slight villain theme. But at any rate, yeah, so yeah, we do have that or the Klara set in these card sections. Okay, so these are the special fire and poison markers. And so they look unlike any of the fire and poison markers that are in other sets. So I think people actually might get a little bit confused if they, you know, mix these in with their usual Pokemon tokens. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we'll open up the Klara package. And so once again, put the card code aside. If I add that to Pokemon TCG Live, it will give me the custom cards in this set. And so this is the full art Klara. And so all of these are going to have the same effect. Choose one or both. Put up to 2 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, or put up to 2 basic energy cards from the discard pile into your hand. So I've given Pokemon TCG a lot of, you know, deserved crap over the years, but I'm really impressed by the little sets. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, speaking as a pretty seasoned TCG collector, um, you know, some of the difficulties that I have for more prominent games, including Magic the Gathering, is that they really feel like the cards are the be all and the end all of it. I think sometimes it's really just that the fact that they lose the sight that card collecting is supposed to be fun. If you have interesting cards in your set and you have interesting bonuses in your card set, well then that is definitely going to help you to sell card sets that are 60 cards wide and $50 or more. And you have to keep in mind that $50 is probably just kind of the base price if you want a card set of $60 for more these days. So this is definitely giving me my money's worth, because even I might end up selling a significant amount of the cards, but once I'm done doing that, then this is evergreen. This is going to stay permanently inside of my Pokemon TCG set. Once again, Klara, the rest of the Klara cards, they're normal foil, they're foil art cards, and they all have the same effect on them. So you get up to 4 of the trainer cards, which is kind of the point when it comes to this set. The centerpiece is not a particularly strong Pokemon, it's really just a trainer. So, of course, I am inclined to like the full art a little bit more. Let's see. For sure. It's the accessories you go in for more than anything. Yeah. I mean, that's what you kind of show off when you're putting together sets of Pokemon, Pokemon to show off when you're actually playing at the card table with people. So now, we only got to open up 2 booster packs in Sun and Moon. This one is going to have a whopping 7, and they're from 4 different sets. So let's start out with Fusion Strike. Yeah, another Ken Sugimori banger trainer design. Ken Sugimori, I've always been particularly impressed with him when it comes to the trainer designs, and in addition to being the person who, created all of Pokemon, he also came up with the idea for Pokemon Masters, the mobile game, which is, a mobile game that focuses entirely on the existing trainers in the Pokemon series. So, let's see. Galarian, Corsola, HP 70, Psychic type tackle is 30. Alright. Baltoy, HP 60, does smack attack for 20. Minun, HP 70, electric type, rapid strike card. Calls for family, searches your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, or Static Shock for 20. Neat historical lore there too, yeah. I mean, so I think, Ken Sugimori has a tendency to, appreciate the fact that Pokemon are run by trainers, whereas, a significant amount of, other merchandises, including the card game, tends to focus more on the Pokemon designs. So let's see. This is Pansear, HP 60. Surprise attack, flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. Okay. Drillbur, HP 60. Does scratch for 20. This is Galarian, Darumaka, HP 80. Reckless charge for 20. Flip a coin. If tails, this Pokemon does 10 damage to itself. Okay. Galarian Obstagoon. This is the evolved form of Lina 1 that only exists in the Galar region. Has HP 170, Dark type. Silence does 30. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon, and then that Pokemon can't use that attack. Or a Merciless Strike for 60+. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 90 more damage. So that's virtually an instant knockout. For everything except for the strongest Pokemon is probably most likely the Pokemon X. This is a Dark Energy card. This is a Fusion Strike Special Energy card. I mean, we've seen a significant amount of these because we're playing on Pokemon TCG Live. A Bug Catcher Trainer card. Draw 2 cards, flip a coin. If heads, draw 2 more cards. And Lopunny, the HP 110, normal Rapid Strike card, does Hopping Shot for 70. Alright. So, this is the Brilliant Stars pack. Alright. So we are once again growing quite rich when it comes to Pokemon TCG Live code cards. So Chimecho, HP 70, Psychic type. Clear Tone, search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards, reveal them, and then put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. Or hang down for 30. Okay. Gibble, Dragon type, HP 70, does Gnaw, which is a combination of fire and water energy, and does 30 damage. So, you know, recently, well, in particularly in this set, particularly in the Sword and Shield sets, we've introduced special cards for Dragon types. But unlike the Fairy cards, they work a lot more with the game because they don't require their own energy. They tend to require 2 or 3 basic energies of different types in order to use. That's what's significant about a Dragon card. Turtwig, HP 80, Grass type, does Bite for 10 or Headbutt Bounce for 20. Okay. Trapinch, HP 60, does Rising Lounge for 10 plus flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 10 more damage. Okay. Piplup, HP 60, Water type. Bubble does 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon are now paralyzed. Okay. Starly, HP 60. This is a reverse foil card, and this is a normal type. 60 HP, does Claw for 30. Flip a coin. If heads, then this attack does nothing. Muck, HP 130, Dark type. Ability is Sludge Streak. The retreat cost of your opponent's poison Pokemon is 1 more. And then the Shrieking Poison, which does 90 attack. And your opponent's Pokemon is now confused and poisoned. So, Fighting Energy. Crawdont, HP 130, Water type. Corkscrew Punch for 30 or Crab Impact for 150 and discard 2 energy cards from the Pokemon. Claydol, HP 110, Psychic type. Spinning Attack for 40 and Coinciding Figures for 90 plus. If you and your opponent have that same number of bench Pokemon, this attack does 90 more damage. Speaking of Baltoy, there's Claydol. Yeah, if you had a significant amount of Baltoy and Claydol, you would make a pretty impressive deck. Particularly, they would be a fast knockout if you and your opponent had the same amount of bench Pokemon. Let's see. Acerola's Premonition. Your opponent reveals their hand, and you draw a card for each trainer card that you find in your opponent's hand. All right. So, this is the Astral Radiance, I believe. Yeah, we have 2 of these. And then 3 Silver Tempests. Silver Tempest seems to be the most common, which is, you know, a little bit of a bummer for me because Silver Tempest is probably what makes up the majority of cards that I already own. Well, that's my own fault because, you know, I decided to buy the whole retail pack of Silver Radiance cards. So that one's on me. Okay. So, derp. Well, yeah. So yeah, I runneth over when it comes to Silver Tempest. Combi, HP 50 grass type. Honey Courier. Search your deck for an item card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This is Chitat, HP 70, normal type. Collect allows you to draw a card and jabber on. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. Psyduck, HP 60. Spacing out, flip a coin if heads, heal 10 damage from the Pokemon, or do Ram for 20. Drifloon, HP 60 Psychic type. Triple Spin, does 10 times damage and then flips 3 coins. The attack does 10 damage for each heads. So, Sudowoodo, HP 110 fighting type. Vamoose is an ability. If this Pokemon has any damage counters, it has no retreat cost. And Double Edge does 90 damage, and this Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. Okay, I don't want to alarm you too much, but I can already see an X card in here, and it's just the one that's going to be right after this one. Uxie, HP 70, reverse foil card, and it's a Psychic type. Wise Guidance, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. And then, or do Side Shot for 20. Okay, so here's the V card. It's a Garchomp. Basic card, HP 200, Dragon type. Dragon Claw 120 requires both fighting and water energy. Sonic Strike requires 2 fighting energy, 1 water energy, and 1 additional energy. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 220 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance. So, okay. Fire energy card. Unidentified fossil. Dartrix, HP 90, grass type. Flap does flap for 30 or Razor Wing for 60. And then Driftblim, Spooky Balloon. Does Spooky Balloon for 50. And put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. HP 110, and it's a Psychic type. Alright, so here's the last Astral Radiance, and then we're going to open the 3 Silver Tempest sets. That one was a little extra. I ended up shaking the camera when I opened that one. Alright. So, here is Scyther, HP 80, grass type. Quick Blow does 30 plus, flip a coin of heads. This attack does 30 more damage. Here's the Eevee. Ability, Resonant Evolution. Once during your turn when you play a Pokemon to your hand to evolve one of your Eevee, you can search for your deck for a card that evolves from the Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So this is kind of a quick acting Eevee. As soon as you use this ability, you can search your deck for a card that evolves from Eevee and then put it onto this one. Or tackle for 20. Heracross, HP 110, does Horn Attack for 40 and Overhead Throw for 120. This attack also does 30 damage to a bench Pokemon. That's a very strong one. Teddiursa, HP 70, normal type. Gather food, flip a coin if heads. Put an item card from your discard pile into your hand. Or dig claws for 20. HP 70, normal type. Okay. Mantine, HP 110, water type. Whoops. Butterfingers. Okay. I'm not typically used to having fingers, even if they are on Mage Hand. I saved that nicely. Okay, Mantine, HP 110, Water type. Born Ashore, put a basic Pokemon from either player's discard pile onto the bench, or Aqua Edge for 100. Temple of Sinnoh, Stadium card. All special energy attached to the Pokemon, both yours and your opponent, provides a normal energy and will have no other effect. Okay, this is a full art card, and this is a really nice one, because in addition to that, you know, they did put the rainbow foil design. So this is Gardenia's Vigor. Gardenia, of course, the preeminent grass trainer in Sword and Shield. Okay, I just assumed that you double cast Mage Hand. Well, really, you know, one hand is helping the other, you know. This is the addendum that you get to have, particularly when you work in a library. So here we are. So Gardenia's Vigor, and it's a really nice card. I'm pretty sure I could fetch a good price for it. Let's see. Draw 2 cards. If you draw any cards this way, search up for 2 grass energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. So yeah, probably one of the nicest colored cards that I've pulled so far. Psychic Energy, Wait and See Turbo. You can use this card only if you go second and only during your first turn. Search your deck for a basic energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So that's slightly quick energy card if you run a deck that you always intend to go second on. And let's see. Shieldon, HP 100, Steel type. Hard Headbutt does 30, flip a coin if heads. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. And Confront for 100. Okay. Celine, one of the characters from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Flip 2 coins, put a number of cards to the number of heads from your discard pile to the top of your deck in any order. Alright. So now we have the 3 Silver Tempests to open. Alright. Okay. So yeah, so we've seen a significant amount of these cards in the past. I'm going to, you know, describe them to you again. You know, just really for the people who are actually seeing me open Silver Tempest for the first time. Okay, so Snorunt, HP 60, Water type. Collect allows you to draw a card, and Icy Snow for 20. Fletchling, HP 40, Normal type, does Peck for 10. Pharaoh Seed, HP 60, Steel type, does Tackle for 10, or Rolling Tackle for 20. Smeargle, HP 70, Colorful Palette. This is a card that's very useful in the Ho-Oh set that I run in Pokemon TCG Live. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to one of your Pokemon, and then shuffle the other cards back into your deck, or do Ram for 30. Esper, HP 60. And so we've talked a lot about this in previous episodes. This is a knit yarn style Esper that looks exactly like a ragdoll. Mumble does 10, and then Gentle Slap does 20. Ninetales, this is a reverse foil. HP 110, Fire type. Hypnotic Gaze, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Or Scorching Breath, during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Makes me flash to the old kids CG render art. It's more than likely actually rendered in CG. So this is a Rapidash foil, HP 100, Fire type. Ability Heat Boost. Once during your turn, you can discard an energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. During this turn, your fire Pokemon attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. It's a card that requires you to burn your fire energy, which is actually pretty common when it comes to playing fire decks. Or do Fire Main for 60. Fire type energy, regenerative energy, special energy card. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides normal energy. Whenever you play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve the Pokemon V this card is attached to, heal 100 damage from that Pokemon. So very good card to have if you're running a Pokemon V deck. Okay, so Duosion, HP 70, Cell Spear 20, put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And significant, that's a Psychic. In the games, it's actually a Psychic Grass type. And then finally, Hypno, HP 110, Psychic type, Psy-Call. Search your deck for up to 2 Stage 1 Pokemon, and then put each of them onto your bench and then shuffle your deck. Or Zen Headbutt for 90. Makes me flashback, well, old, not kid, using the phone. Yeah. Let me see. The old kid. The old kid stands before you, and he's in the process of opening a whole bunch of Pokemon cards that he got from hard work and savings of his job. No, I'm just kidding. I mostly just traded in other geek stuff for these. Alright, so we love you, old kid. Okay, Dewpider, HP 60, water type, hook, does hook for 30. Ponyta, HP 70, does takedown attack for 50. When this Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. Venonat, HP 60, grass type, does tackle for 20. I think that's actually an Invader Zim bit. One of the school kids looks like a little old man. I mean, you know, among other really weird people that you run into when you watch Invader Zim. Alright, so Ralts, HP 60, does memory skip for 10. Choose one of your Pokemon's active Pokemon attacks during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon can't use that attack. Alright, so Spinda, HP 90. Dizzying Spin. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Your Pokemon's active Pokemon are now confused. I also have several of these cards in the Ho-Oh set because they're just really good cards for stalling an opponent, particularly an opponent that is immediately going to put out a Pokemon V. Okay, this is a reverse foil. This is Fletchinder, HP 80, fire type, does steady fire breathing for 30. So, Hisuian Lilligant, HP 120, grass type. Swelling Scent requires no energy. Search your deck for 2 grass energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way that you like, then shuffle your deck, or Spiral Kick for 50. Okay, this is a V-Star token. Okay, Morpeko, HP 60, dark type. Peko Blaster. You can use this attack only if one of your Deden used the D short during your turn. This attack does 60 damage to each one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for your bench Pokemon. Charming Aroma does, well, it's an item, a trainer item card. You flip a coin of heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If it's tails, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So you just kind of have a 50-50 chance there. And then Slurpuff, HP 120, Psychic type. Draining Kiss does 30, allows you to heal 30 damage from this Pokemon, or Magical Shot for 100. Okay, so here's the final Pokemon booster that we're going to open. So, alright. I already see another full art card buried in there somewhere. Durant, 110, grass type. Energy Digging, search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and then put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck, or Bite for 50. Emolga, HP 70, electric type. Lucky Find, search your deck for an item card, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. or Static Shock for 40. Beldum, HP 60, Steel type, Magnetic Lift, search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then put that card on top of it, or tackle for 20. So HP 60 and a Steel type. Stunfisk, HP 110, Electric type, does Mud Shot for 30, or Mystery Bolt. You can use this attack only if you have no supporter cards in your discard pile. This attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So this could be really good for, very early in the game, where if you don't have supporter cards in your hand, then you can do 110 damage to an active Pokemon. Vulpix HP 70, Fire type, Jump On does 10, plus Flip a Coin if has this attack does 20 more damage. Bunnery is a reverse foil card, HP 16, normal type, try bouncing, flip a coin, if tails, then this attack does nothing. Incineroar, HP 170, fire type, secret attack, choose an attack from one of this Pokemon's previous evolutions and use it as this attack. Or Flare Shot for 180, discard an energy card from this Pokemon. Oh, I wish I had more Littens and Incineroars, but I don't. That's a Pokemon that has not yet graced me. Psychic Energy. This is Breaksen, HP 90, Fire type. Combustion for 30. Flare Parade for 60 times. This attack does 60 damage for each Serena card in your discard pile. So yeah, we've already established that there is, a particular Serena deck that you're capable of building. And those cards are the ones that you should definitely be using with the Fennekin cards. Alright, and Lopunny, HP 110, normal type, Smash Kick for 30, double kick for 100 times. Flip 2 coins. This attack does 100 damage for each heads. And then here's Sabrina. I think we've gotten up to roughly about 6 Serena trainer cards so far, which once again is really good if you want to build that particular deck. Let's see. Choose one, discard up to 3 cards from your hand. If you do, draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. Or switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. Well, and they have to be Pokemon V. Alright. Oh, but to be a flaming cat. Yes, to be a flaming cat. So, the total amount of cards that we got in the trainer set are approximately the same size as the one that we got in the Sun and Moon set, which is pretty significant because the Sun and Moon set also contained a basic starter set. So that means that we got the same amount of cards in a bonus set that we got in one that also contains a starter set. Alright, so take all of this, put it aside because we need to get right to Magic the Gathering. So we took a full hour to describe all the Pokemon cards that we had, and those weren't even full sets. We do have a full Commander box for Magic the Gathering, so we need to get to that as quickly as possible. Let's see. A little bit more this way. Just get all of this out of the way very quickly. Alright, so. And the box. Okay. So that takes care of that. The next thing that I have to do is I need to swap to the MTG channel. Where did I put this? It's nice that, Twitch actually has a channel for the Magic the Gathering TCG. We somewhat cheat and go to the original Game Boy version of Pokemon trading card game every time we're showing off Pokemon cards. Alright, so yeah, okay, so that's done. Take one more small step down here and pull up the boxes that we have. Okay, so first things first, as I was saying at the top of the stream, is that, I was making an effort in order to get several Magic the Gathering booster packs and then saving them unopened until the next time I have an unboxing stream. That ultimately results in me having these 3 sets right here. These are 3 Dominaria remastered cards, and these are 3 Phyrexia seeds. So I'm gonna open the Phyrexia cards first because I think the last things that we unboxed were from the Phyrexia pre-release box set. So this is really just going to help us provide boosters for that already existing set. All right. Okay. So first thing, got an art card. And so, you know, I'm accumulating art cards as much as I possibly can. I certainly hope that we're actually going to get some Magic the Gathering artists to visit Colorado so I can actually get autographs for these. All right, so let me see. This is, yeah, Poison Counter card. On the back end, it has an advertisement. Yeah, that would be sick. Yeah, I would appreciate that a lot. So, you know, if anybody from Magic the Gathering is watching the Magic the Gathering channel, please send Magic the Gathering artists to the next Denver Pop Culture Con. I'd appreciate you for it. All right. Cutthroat Centurion, a dark card, does, 3 mana, artifact creature, Phyrexian Warrior, sacrifice another artifact or creature. Cutthroat Centurion gets +2/+2 until the end of turn and activate only once per turn. Yeah, and the art too. Venerated Rot Priest, green mana card, single green mana. Creature, Phyrexian Druid, attack of 1, defense of 2, toxic of 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, a target opponent gets a poison counter. All right. Thrumming Bird, 2 water mana. Phyrexian Bird Horror, 1/1 with flying. Whenever Thrumming Bird deals combat damage to a player, then proliferate. Tainted Observer, this is a Phyrexian Bird. It's a green and blue mana and a 3 mana card. Has 2/3 with flying, toxic of 1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 2. If you do, proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and or players and give each number a counter of each kind already there. Okay. This is Scheming Aspirant. 2 black mana, Phyrexian Advisor. Whenever you proliferate, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Where did I put my black cards? I think they're right here. Okay. Unnatural Restoration, 2 green manas, a sorcery card. Return target permanent card from your graveyard into your hand and proliferate. Jawbone Duelist, 2 white mana cards. Phyrexian Soldier with double strike and toxic. Bladed Ambassador, also a 2 mana white card. Phyrexian Soldier, Bladed Ambassador enters the battlefield with an oil counter on it. Remove an oil counter from Bladed Ambassador. Bladed Ambassador gains indestructible until the end of the turn. So Phyrexia brings back, you know, two very old token types. One of them is poison tokens. The other one is oil tokens. Oil tokens clearly, you know, make a monster stronger every time that you're capable of adding a token. While poison tokens will permit a enemy to die between 10 or 20 hits, as opposed to the usual 20 or 40, depending on what format you're playing. Blight Belly Rat, 2 black mana, Phyrexian Rat, toxic of 1, and then when Blight Rat dies, then you proliferate. Yeah, those little suckers are scary. Infectious Inquiry, 3 black mana, sorcery card, draw 2 cards, and then lose 2 life, and then each opponent gets a poison counter. Alright. Ichor Spit Basilisk, a Phyrexian Basilisk with Death Touch and Toxic of 1, 3 green mana, 1 attack. Let's see, where did I put the greens? I think the green is right here. Okay. And then Island basic land mana card. You know, I like the special art. Do you like the special art? Because I like the special art. Okay. Phyrexia pack number 2. See. So, second art card. You know, I do like, you know, a significant amount of the cards in the Phyrexia set are done in grayscale, but also done in grayscale with an ink-like contrast. So yeah, I do really enjoy those. Let me see. Okay. Leonin, Arbiter, 2 white mana cards. Cat Cleric, players can't search libraries. Any player can pay 2 for that player to ignore this effect until the end of turn. 2 attack and 2 defense. Meldweb Curator, this one is a foil card. 4 blue mana, Phyrexian Wizard. When Meldweb Curator enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. 3 attack and 4 defense. Conduit of Worlds, 4 green mana, and artifact. You can play lands from your graveyard or tap to choose non-land permanent cards in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you can cast this card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Urabrax Anointer. Okay, so this is an alt card. Not exactly the one that I had pulled the art card from. This is a 4 mana fire card. Phyrexian Wizard. When Urabrax Anointer enters the battlefield, it deals each X damage to the target, where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. Alright, so quite literally the very first red mana card that we pulled. Infectious Bite, 2 green mana, instant card. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to a target creature you don't control, and each opponent gets a poison counter. Ravenous Necro Titan, 4 black mana, Phyrexian Horror, Corrupted. When Ravenous Necro Titan enters the battlefield, sacrifice a creature unless the opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Alright. Then Vat Emergence, 5 black mana sorcery card. Put a target creature card from your graveyard into the battlefield under your control and then proliferate. I'm partial to green and black builds myself. Yeah, I mean, anything is better than mono green, and maybe that's really just what's said around the table when I'm there. Okay, so Mommy Liliana. Okay, against all odds, 4 white mana sorcery cards. Choose one or both, exile a target artifact or creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Or return a target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Orthodoxy Enforcer, 4 white mana, Phyrexian Cleric, attack of 2, a defense of 4, and vigilance. Orthodoxy Enforcer gets +2 or 0 as long as you control 2 or more artifacts. Contagious Vrak, 3 green mana, Phyrexian Boar Beast. When Contagious Vrak enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a land card from among them and put them onto your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, then proliferate. And so, the definition of proliferate: choose any number of permanents or players, then give each another counter of the kind that's already there. Very significant in this set, because this set requires a lot of use of counters. Pestilent Siphoner, 2 black mana, Phyrexian Insect with Flying and Toxic of 1. Blightbelly Rat again. So, and the Blue Island card. So I'm pretty impressed, because between this and the Pokemon cards that I open, I'm getting very, very few repeat cards. So I'm very happy about that. You know, we are definitely getting a brand new card from each full set here. You know, I am one happy TCG collector. What are you? You're a blue. Okay. so Phyrexia pack number 3 and the last Phyrexia pack. Okay, another art card. This one has a little bit of gold foil in just a lasso that is right next to the card, so that is very striking. I enjoy that a lot. Okay, so another ad card. This is another poison counter. Another full foil card. This is Furnace Punisher. 3 red mana cards, Phyrexian Warrior with Menace. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Furnace Punisher does 2 damage in that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Excuse me. Razor Verge Thickets, 2-color white and green card. Land card. When it enters the battlefield, tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. Bless you. Well, thank you. Okay. So Quicksilver Fisher, 5 blue mana card, Phyrexian Drake, 4 attack and 3 defense with flying. When Quicksilver Fisher enters the battlefield, draw a card and then discard it. Expand the Sphere, 4 green mana sorcery. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put them on top of the 2 cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. If you put fewer than 2 lands onto the battlefield, proliferate a number of times equal to the difference. Okay. Viral Spawning, 3 green mana sorcery card. Create a 3/5 green Phyrexian Beast creature token with Toxic of 1. As long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters and Viral Spawning in your graveyard, it has flashback ×2. Alright. Feed the Infection. Yeah. 4 black mana card sorcery. Draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. Or Corrupted. Each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters will lose 3 life. Chrome Prowler, 3 mana blue card. Phyrexian Cat with Flash. When Chrome Prowler enters a battlefield, tap the target creature an opponent controls. A Mandible Justicar, 2 white mana Phyrexian Cleric with lifelink. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Mandible Justicar gets +1, add +1 until the end of the turn. Thirsting Roots, sorcery, single green mana sorcery card. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Or proliferate. You get just a choice of one or the other. Dune Mover, 2 mana artifact card, Phyrexian Golem. Toxic of 1, when Dune Mover enters a battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle it, and put the card on top. Plague Nurse, 4 green mana Phyrexian Cleric creature, Toxic of 2, with spend 3 mana. Each other creature you control with Toxic gains Toxic of 1 until the end of the turn and activate only once per turn. And so the last one is just a very, very lovely foil full art, and it's a fire basic mana card. So I'll just put that in the fire pile. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to Dominaria Remastered. Dominaria, well, you know, something of a controversial set, because the original Dominaria set had slightly stronger cards, but nevertheless, you know, I do enjoy collecting them. Let's see. You know, I'm not as hard up on, you know, the popularity of sets as much as I am, you know, when it comes to rooting around for these things with rare cards. So here's your 1/1 Squirrel token. Street Wraith does 5, requires 5 black mana, is a Wraith with Swamp Walk. This creature can't be blocked as long as a defending player controls a swamp card. or cycling, which allows you to pay 2 life, then discard this card and then draw a card. Elvish Aberration. 6 mana elf mutant creature card with 4 attack and 5 defense. Tap it to add 3 mana, or Frost Cycle of 2. After tapping this card with 2, discard this card, search your library for a forest card, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, then shuffle it. Undying Rage, 3 fire magic, an aura enchantment card. Enchants a creature, enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't block. When Undying Rage is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Undying Rage from its owner's hand. Oven Eyes, 2 blue mana instant spell card. Until the end of the turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness of 1. Alright. Sandstorm, green mana instant spell card, deals 1 damage to each attacking creature. White Mane Lion, 2 white mana cat creature card with 2 attack and 2 defense. Has flash, and when White Mane Lion enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. Giant Spider, 4 green mana spider creature with reach. Veiled Serpent, 3 blue mana enchantment. When an opponent casts a spell, if Veiled Serpent is an enchantment, Veiled Serpent becomes a 4/4 serpent creature with this creature can't attack unless defending player controls an island. Or cycling this card too, which allows you to discard this card and then draw an additional card. Mystic Zealot. A human nomad mystic card with 4 white mana, 2 attack, and 4 defense. And threshold, as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Mystic Zealot gets +1/+1 and has flying. Invigorating Boom, 2 green mana enchantment card. Whenever a player cycles a card, you can put a +1/+1 counter on the target creature. Lightning Rift, 2 red mana enchantment card. Whenever a player cycles a card, you can play 1. If you do, Lightning Rift deals 2 damage to any target. Nature's Lure, 2 green mana sorcery cards. Search your library for a forest card. Put that card onto the battlefield and then shuffle. Phantom Nishoba, creature, cat beast spirit, dual mana, white and green, and 5, so a total of 7 mana. Cat beast spirit has trample. Phantom Nishoba enters the battlefield with 7 +1/+1 counters on it, and whenever Phantom Nishoba deals damage, you can gain that much life. If damage would be dealt to Phantom Nishona, prevent that damage, remove a +1/+1 counter from Phantom Nishoba. A really, really powerful card if you can actually make the mana cost. So, this is an alternate art card. This is Faldea Seer. 2 green mana, human shaman card. Tap it to draw a card, reveal it. If it isn't a land card, then you must discard it. And then old school island mana card. Alright. Booster pack number 2. Alright. So, see anything in here? Yeah, 1 insect token card. Sandstorm, single green mana instant card. It deals 1 damage to each attacking creature. Macefall Histrodon, 7 red mana beast creature, has both first strike and haste, and tap 3 for cycling. Aquamoeba, 2 blue mana elemental beast creature. Cleric of the Forward Order, 2 white mana human cleric. When Cleric of the Forward Order enters the battlefield, you can gain 2 life for each creature you control named Cleric of the Forward Order. So really good to proliferate when it comes to white soldier cards. Although, probably not a good idea in order to use that in a commander deck. Urborg Siphon Mage, 3 black mana human spell shaper with 2 attack and 2 defense. Tap 3 mana and tap this card to discard a card. Each other player loses 2 life. You gain the life equal to the life lost this way. Uh-oh. I mixed up my green pile and my black pile just a little bit. Okay, so... Shirk Prospector, Goblin Creature, single mana, sacrifice a goblin to add 1 mana. All better now. So, you know, I've been liking the red mana cards that come with the Phyrexia set. I want to see how well it works with some recent edition Goblin cards from other series, but, you know, self-sacrificing Goblin is probably not something good to add to that equation. Deep Analysis, 4 blue mana sorcery card. The target player draws 2 cards. Or Flashback, pay 3 life. You can cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback card and then exile it. The Phantom Flock, 5 white mana bird soldier spirit card with flying. 0 attack and 0 defense. A Phantom Flock enters the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to Phantom Flock, prevent that damage and remove a counter from Phantom Flock. So that's just kind of a card that gets weaker the longer it stays on the field. Slippery Karst, land card. Enters the battlefield tap to add 1 green mana. Okay. Tormod's Crypt, 0 cost artifact card. Sacrifice Tormod's Crypt, exile target player's graveyard. This is our first legendary creature and therefore potential leader of a commander deck. Tiana Ship's Caretaker, 5 red and white mana Angel Artificer card with flying and first strike. Whenever an aura or equipment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you can return that card to the owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's actually a pretty good one. I might want to consider that for my next red mana commander. Phyrexian Skuta, 4 black mana Phyrexian zombie. A kicker allows you to pay 3 life. Or if Phyrexian Skuta was kicker effect, it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. Hinterland Harbor, blue and green land card. Darmul's Crusade, an black and red 3 mana enchantment card. Every goblin will get +1/+1. Or all goblins are black and zombies in addition to their other creature types. And then old school mountain mana card. Okay. Final pack of the random boosters, and then we can get on to opening up the Great Big Brothers Lair set. Alright, so let's see. Spark Spray, red mana card, instant spell, deals 1 damage to any target. The Horseshoe Crab, 3 blue mana crab creature, and then use 1 mana in order to untap it. So I think it stays tapped until you pay 1 mana in order to untap it. Momentary Blink, 2 white mana instant card. Exile a target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Evil Eye of Ormus Bygor, 5 black mana creature card. Non-eye creatures you control can't attack. Evil Eye of Ormus Bygor can't be blocked except by walls. And so that makes me puzzled because I've never seen a lot of eye creatures. So I don't know how effective it is to put that into a card that sections out eye creatures. Once again, also not a very good card for Commander because it's probably be really hard to accumulate a 100 card deck with no repeated eyeball cards. Okay, Wild Growth, green mana enchantment, allows you to enchant a land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional green mana. that goes there. Okay. Grape Shot. 2 red mana cards, sorcery, deals 1 damage to any target. Or Storm. When you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose 2 targets for the copies. So let me see. Festering Goblin, black, Seagull Black, Zombie Goblin creature card. When it dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until the end of the turn. Another Giant Spider card. Mystic Zealot, 4 white mana cards. Human Nomad Mystic with Threshold. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Mystic Zealot gets +1 and +1 and has flying. So this is the second legendary creature card. This is Tachiova Benthic Druid. 3 green-blue mana card. With landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card, which is, pretty simple and straightforward. Is that if you were to summon that card as your commander, then you have the ability to gain life and draw cards. Squirrel Nests, 3 green mana enchantments. Enchanted land has, when tapped, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. I like squirrel decks. Probably not the foolproof strategy that I would assume it to be, but there you have it. I like squirrel decks. Congregate, 4 white mana instant card, spell card. Target player gains 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. Moose and squirrel. Well, who said anything about mooses? I just want squirrel cards. Okay. So, old school art, Nantico Shade card. This one is 2 black mana, insect shade card. It gets, when tapped, it gets a +1/+1 until the end of turn. Probably slightly better for defense in that respect. Another Festering Goblin. Old school mounted mana card. That shouldn't go there. That should go in the water deck. And then this one is a Goblin token. And so those are the entirety of the 6 loose mana cards. Ooh, how are we on time? We have 30 minutes. We are going to attempt to open the entirety of a commander box in 30 minutes. Let's see if we're actually able to pull it off. Well, of course, I will stay later if it does take longer in order to open the whole thing. But, what can I say? This is like Iron Man for obsessive TCG collectors. All right. So here it is. This is the Brothers War. And so the Brothers War is a recent set, but it also, regrettably isn't a very popular set. While most Magic sets are usually something in the neighborhood of $130, I got this one for just $100. Well, retail, and also overlooking the fact that I traded in for the majority of this. So basically, the commander line has to do with these 2 warring brothers, and it also has a significant amount of cards that are artifacts that have piloting abilities, which is extremely similar to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, except without the theming. So we're gonna look into this. We're going and see, what the recommended commander building instructions are going to be in this set. All right, so that was the first time I think I actually ever peeled a cellophane off of a Magic Store box before opening it. Okay, so here's the commander rules card. It got some really nice art in the back. Usually these things are 2-sided. Okay, so the Brothers War draft archetypes. Soldiers cards are in water and artifact. Drop power cards are in water and dark. Artifact sacrifices are in black and red. Mechanized Stompy decks are in green and red. Artifacts enter the battlefield theme is green and white. Scrappy Swarm is black and white. Powers aggressiveness is blue and red. Graveyard counter card sets are in black and green. Unearth aggro cards are in red and white. And Power Stone Ramp is in blue and black. Meet Urza. Urza's name is legend across Dominaria. Cursed and uttered in reverence, divisive as it is powerful. Long, long ago, Urza waged war with his brother Mithra and nearly destroyed his home plane in the process. A master of machines, he created an entire army with a relentless focus, and that focus is victory. Alright. Very good art, yeah. I might keep that. I might try to see if I can fit that in with one of my tabletop sets. Let's see. You know, I'm not usually one for keeping commander recommendation cards, but okay. First stack. So let me see. This contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the total amount of booster packs is 30. All right. So start out with stack number 1. You know. So, like I say, this is usually the kind of thing that would probably upset another TCG collector. But for me, you know, it is really just about, you know, collecting the single cards, trying to see, you know, how I can best turn around and circulate the cards for money back or stroke credit, which, of course, I would use to get additional cards. Power Stone token artifact. Tap to add 1 mana. Okay. Desynchronize. 5 blue mana instant spell card. Target non-land permanence owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library and scry 2. Bitter Reunion. 2 red mana enchantment cards. When it enters the battlefield, you can discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Or tap to sacrifice Bitter Reunion. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of the turn. Pretty good if you can actually manage to keep it on the field. I can imagine, you know, in a commander battle, you know, people almost immediately wanting to go after that card. Burrowing Razor Maw, 3 green mana beast creature card. When Burrowing Razor Maw dies, mill 4 cards. Killzone Acrobat, 3 black mana human soldier. Whenever Killzone Acrobat attacks, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, Killzone Acrobat gains flying until the end of the turn. Goblin Fireball, 1 colorless mana artifact card with flash. Tap 8 mana to sacrifice Goblin Firebomb and then destroy a target permanent. You know, as long as you just, for as long as you want to actually keep a bomb on the field. Let's see. Recommission, 2 white mana sorcery card, return a artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard into your battlefield. A must have if you are actually going to be running an artifact deck. Epic Confrontation, 2 green mana sorcery card. Target creatures you control get +1/+2 until the end of the turn. It fights target creatures you don't control. Alright. Aeronaut's Wings, 2 colorless mana, equipment artifact card. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has flying, and an equip cost of 2. Alright. Good concept, good art. Oh, well, you know, I am never unimpressed with the art from a Magic set, but you know, what can I say? Swiftgear Drake, 5 colorless mana artifact creature Drake card with flying and haste. When Swiftgear Haste enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target card from your graveyard to the bottom of the owner's library. Alright, yeah, artifact. Falahai Dragon Engine, 8 colorless mana artifact creature dragon. for a cost of 2 red mana, you can prototype this. Cast this spell. You can cast a spell with different mana cost, color, and use. It keeps its ability and type. Well, that's kind of a mechanic that's a little bit lost on me. And then that would give it an attack of 1 and 3 defense, or its standard 5/5 with flying, or tap 2 mana to give it +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Alright. Recruitment Officer, single white mana, human soldier card. Tap 4 to look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them and put it onto your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Skyfisher Spider, creature spider, black and green mana, 4 mana creature card with reach. When Skyfisher Spider enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy another target land or permanent. When Skyfisher Spider dies, you can gain 1 life for each creature card in your graveyard. If you do, exile Skyfisher Spider from your graveyard. Okay. Drafna, founder of Latnam, 2 blue mana, legendary creature, human artificer advisor. Tap 2 to return target artifact you control to its owner's hand, or tap 4 to copy an artifact spell that you control. Okay. Old school art Mystic Forge card for colorless mana artifact card. If you can look at the top card of your library at any time, you can cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of your library, or tap to pay 1 life and exile this to the top of your library. And then Giant Growth, this one is a foil card. Yeah, so 1 green mana instant spell card. Target creature gets +1, +3 or +3 until the end of the turn. Alright. So here we are, barely on pack 2. What time is it? It's 1:43. Yeah, we're definitely going to be going into overtime. Notify the affiliates. Alright. Phew! Another Power Stone token. Deadly Riposte, 2 white mana instant spell card. Deals 3 damage to target tapped creature and allows you to gain 2 life. Coilless Rock, 5 blue mana creature or bird card with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. So that's probably the first card that actually uses all the Firestone tokens that we've been collecting. Mishra's Juggernaut, 5 colorless mana artifact creature Juggernaut card with trample. Mishra's Juggernaut attacks each combat if able. Unearth, 6 mana, 6 red mana. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield. Blanchwood Prowler, 2 green mana, elemental creature card. When Blanchwood Prowler enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Blanchwood. Gixian Infiltrator, 2 black mana, Phyrexian human. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Gixian Infiltrator. So that is probably about, 2 or 3 times that we found non-Phyrexians in one of the non-Phyrexia sets. So that's interesting. Okay. Veteran's Power Blade, 3 colorless mana artifact, gets +2/+0. Equipped Soldier gets 1 white mana, and the equip cost of 2. Power Stone Engineer. They might not have corrupted all just yet, and that's just it, is that if you were going to put the Phyrexians from other sets in with the Phyrexian cards, they might not be very useful, because they don't use the exact same poison or oil mechanics that are in the Phyrexian set. Okay. Power Stone Engineer, 2 white mana human artificer card. When Power Stone Engineer dies, create a tap Power Stone token. Power Plant Worker, 5 colorless artifact creature, assembly worker. Tap with 3 mana, Power Plant Worker gains +2/+2 until the end of the turn. If you control creatures named Mine Worker and Tower Worker, put 2+1/+1 counters on Power Plant Worker instead. Activate only once each turn. Ashnood's Intervention. Single black mana instant spell card. Until the end of the turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, or is put into exile from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. Epic Confrontation, 2 green mana sorcery card. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. Calamity's Wake, 2 white mana instant card. Exile all of the graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn, and then exile Calamity's Wake. Heavyweight Demolisher, 7 colorless mana artifact creature construct card. Menace, at the beginning of your upkeep, tap Heavyweight Demolisher unless you pay 3. Or do Unearth, which costs 6 mana, including 2 red mana. To return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield, it gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would, leave the battlefield. So Unearth is kind of the trademark mechanic of this, and probably key to running a artifact deck in this set. Thran Power Suit, 2 colorless mana artifact equipment card. Equip creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and enchantment attached to it and has ward 2, or equip, and then equip cost of 2. Underground River, blue and black spell card. I'll put it in the blue section. And Old School Sword of the Mech, 2 colorless mana equipment card. Equip creature gets +1/+2, equip 2. Whenever a 1/1 creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can return Sword of the Meek from your graveyard to the battlefield, then attach it to that creature. So, I think we can expect all of the old school cards in this set to be equipment cards. That's probably just my observation. Alright. So, holy cats. This is probably the biggest cost that I've ever seen. Rust Goliath, 10 colorless energy artifact creature construct card. With Reacher, Trample, and also the prototype effect. That is the prototype effect in green, as opposed to the other one that I pulled out, which was in red. And this is yet another one. This is prototype in black. Goring Warplow, 6 colorless mana artifact creature construct card with Death Touch. Military Discipline, single white mana enchantment aura card. Flash, enchant a creature. When Military Discipline enters the battlefield, an enchanted creature gains first strike until the end of the turn. Coastal Bulwark, 2 colorless mana artifact creature cards. It's a wall. I mean, that's what this creature designation is. It is a wall. With Defender, Coastal Bulwark gains +2 or +0 as long as you control an island. Or tap 3 in order to surveil 1. Look at the top card. Okay. Scrapwork Mutt, dog artifact creature. When Scrapwork Mutt enters the battlefield, you can discard a card. If you do, draw 1 card. Or tap 2 mana to unearth 1. Return this card from your graveyard to your battlefield. It gains haste. Okay, yeah, we've seen that one before. Weakstone Subjugation, enchantment of an aura. Enchant an artifact or a creature. When Weakstone Subjugation enters the battlefield, you can pay 3. If you do, tap Enchanted Permanent. Enchanted Permanent does not untap during its controller's untap step. That goes there. Okay. Evolving Wilds Land. Okay, so it's a very old card and very self-explanatory. It is colorless too. Overwhelming Remorse. 5 black mana instant spell card. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. Exile a target creature or a planeswalker. Okay. Lauren's Escape. Single mana instant spell card. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. Inscribe 1. Slagstone Refinery. 4 colorless mana artifact card. Whenever Slagstone Refinery or another non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Ashnod's Harvester, artifact creature construct. Whenever it attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. Yeah, 2 colorless mana. Arms Race, 4 red mana. Enchantment card. Tap 4 mana to put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. That artifact gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Really good when you have artifact creature cards. Gixian Puppeteer, 4 black mana. Phyrexian Warlock creature card. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. When Gixian Puppeteer dies, return another target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Yeah, that's a black. Okay. Ichor Wellspring, 2 colorless mana artifact cards. When it enters the battlefield or is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Okay. Mountain, basic mana card, and a no card. Alright. I was already gonna reach into the box. I think normally I do reach into the box, but since I've already put a stack of 10 in front of me, that's probably just a better way to do it. That's the way I'm actually gonna keep track of the number of packs that I'm opening. Okay, another Power Stone token card. Curate, 2 blue mana instant sorcery cards, surveil 2, and then draw a card. Pen Region Strongbow, 3 red mana Minotaur card, sacrifice an artifact. Pendragon Strongbow gains +1/+1 until the end of the turn and deals 1 damage to each opponent. Tanos' Tinkering, 4 green mana instant card. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target artifact creature or land you control. Untap that permanent. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 creature in addition to its other types. Dredging Claw, artifact equipment card. 2 mana. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has menace. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you can attach Dredging Claw to it, or equip with one black mana. Aeronaut Cavalry, 5 white mana human soldier creature card with flying. When Aeronaut Cavalry enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target soldier that you control. Third Pass Savant, 3 blue mana human wizard card. Tap 7 mana in order to draw 2 cards. Aeronaut's Wings again. Swiftgear Drake with flying and haste. When Swiftgear Drake enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target card from a graveyard on the bottom of the owner's library. So, I'm really, really intrigued by the Drake cards. The Drake cards seem to be, would probably be the ace cards in a very powerful artifact creature deck. Yeah, they have not corrupted all just yet. They're just working on it, Corrupting all, it sounds like a really big task. It takes a lot of time, oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Weakstone Subjugation, 1 blue mana enchantment or a card, enchants an artifact or creature. Oh, actually, yeah, we've seen this one before. Take Flight, 4 blue mana, enchants a creature, gets +1/+1 and has flying, and whenever this creature attacks, draw a card. Thrawn Vigil, enchantment card. Whenever 1 or more artifact or creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature that you control. Actually, Hey, what did I end up doing to my black mana set? Alright, well, I'm gonna make another one. You know. Oh, actually, that's the black mana set, is that I accidentally covered it with an artifact card. That's what I did. Okay. 1 Phyrexian, infects 2, infects of each 2 each, and so on and so forth. And he tells 2 friends, and he tells 2 friends. Okay. Ironclaw Crusher, 7 mana, artifact creature worm card. Prototype is cost 4 green mana. Whenever an Ironclaw Crusher attacks, target an attacking creature gets X0 until the end of the turn, where X is Ironclaw Crusher's power. So those are interesting cards because I realize if they're prototypes, they cost less. And so you can bring them out early or late depending on, you know, how much mana you have on the field. But, you know, some of them also just kind of have an extremely high colorless cost. Mishra's Foundry, normal land card. Elsewhere Flask, old school artifact card, 2 colorless mana. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Sacrifice Elsewhere Flask, choose a basic land type. Each land you control becomes that type until the end of the turn. And then Gaia's Courser. You know, we haven't seen many foil cards from this set, but this is definitely one of them. 5 green mana, Centaur Soldier creature card. Whenever Gaia's Courser attacks, there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, then draw a card. So, Golem, artifact, creature token, Golem card. Retrieval Agent, 4 blue mana, human soldier card. Use 2 mana to give Retrieval Agent +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Argothian Opportunist, human scout. When it enters the battlefield, create a tapped power stone token. I think we've seen that one before. Tokomakul Scrapsmith, human artificer, 3 red mana. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put an artifact card from among those cards milled this way onto your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Scrapsmith. Alright. Emergency Well, 2 black mana, sorcery card. Return target artifact creature card from your graveyard to your hand and create a 1/1 colorless soldier creature token. So yeah, I do think creating a soldier deck in black seems to be what the clarion call of this set is going to be. Ambush Paratrooper, yeah, flash flying, I think we've seen that one. Mine Worker, 2 Assembly Worker artifact creature, tap to gain 1 life. If you control creatures, name Power Plant Worker and Tower Worker, gain 3 life instead. Scrapwork Cohort, artifact creature soldier, 4 mana. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token, or unearth of 2. Scrapworth Rager. We're starting to see, the spawn of the entire Scrapwork theme deck here. 4 Phyrexian Horror artifact creature. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and then you lose 1 life. Unearth, 4 mana, including 1 black mana. Return this card from the hand. Okay. So even though a lot of these are colorless cards, they do still have a tendency to have mana costs in order to do their special abilities. The class is Dig Site, no mana, land card. Okay. Mass Production. Create 4 1/1 colorless sorcerer artifact creature tokens. Mithra's Research Deck, 1 colorless mana artifact. Oh, you know, we saw this one, but this is the normal art as opposed to the old school art. Let's see, what else do we have here? Corrupt, 6 black mana. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, 3 green mana, legendary creature, Elf Druid Scout. Tap to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of a creature or a creature card. Alright. Okay. Old School Burnished Heart Artifact Creature Elk card, 3 mana. Tap to sacrifice Burnished Heart. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, then put them on the battlefield and shuffle. And then Plains basic land card. Okay, another Power Stone token. Boulder Branch Golem. So this one is a 7 mana artifact creature golem card. Prototype costs 4 green mana. When Boulder Branch Golem enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to its power. Alright. I really want to give an artifact deck a chance sometime. Always wanted to. Have not Baba. I'm pretty sure Baba might actually have an artifact token card. Let's see. Clay Revenant, 1 mana artifact creature golem card, enters the battlefield tapped. 3 black mana, return Clay Revenant from your graveyard to your hand. Yoishin Medic, 3 white mana human cleric soldier creature card with lifelink. Falahai Archaeologist, 2 blue mana human scout creature card. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a non-creature, non-land card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Falahi Archaeologist. Falahi Chain Dancer. So Falahi, this is probably, just a tribal group that makes up another theme deck in here. 4 red mana human soldier creature card. Tap 2 to gain double strike until the end of the turn. Perimeter Patrol, 3 green mana human soldier creature card. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Perimeter Patrol gets +1 and +0 until the end of the turn. Another Evolving Wilds. An Overwhelming Remorse instant, 5 black mana instant spell card. Cost does 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard, or destroy a target creature or a planeswalker. Loran's Escape. Instant, single white mana. Spell card, target artifact creature gains hexproof and indestructible until the end of the turn, and then scry 1. Urza, Power Stone Prodigy, 3 blue mana, human artificer, legendary creature card with vigilance. Tap 2 to draw a card and then discard a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, create a tapped Power Stone token. Horned Stone Seeker, 2 red mana, lizard creature card with menace. When it enters the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Audacity, single green mana, enchantment aura card. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and it has trample. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Portal to Phyrexia, 9 colorless mana artifact card. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. Self-Assembler, 5 mana assembly worker artifact creature. When it enters the battlefield, you can search your library for an assembly worker creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, then we have a green foil card. This one is Tamakul Honor Guard, 2 green mana human soldier creature card, Ward of 2. And, well, okay, so that's it, Ward of 2. So, let's see. Okay, this is new. They actually gave me a card of punch-out markers. Let's see. So, almost tipped over the whole box of foil cards. Wasteful Harvest. Mill 5 cards. You can put a permanent card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. 3 green mana card. Tokens. I mean, just generic tokens. Mishra's Onslaught. 4 red mana. Instant spell card. Choose one, create 2 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, or creatures that you control get +2 or +0 until the end of the turn. Carry on Locust, 3 black mana insect horror card with flying. When Carry on Locust enters a battlefield, exile a target card from an opponent's graveyard. If it's a creature card, that player loses 1 life. Alright. Okay. Disenchant 2 white mana instant spell card, destroy a target artifact or enchantment. That's as basic as spell cards can get. Mightstone's animation, 4 blue mana enchantment aura card. Enchant an artifact. When Mightstone's animation enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted artifact is a creature with base power and toughness 4/4 in addition to other types. Even the enchantments are creating artifact creatures. Conscripted Infantry, 3 red mana human soldier creature cards. When it dies, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Prison Sentence, 3 white mana enchantment aura card. When Prison Sentence enters the battlefield, scry 2, enchanted creature can attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Scatter Ray, 2 blue mana, instant spell card. Target counter a target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4 mana. Supply Drop, 3 mana artifact with flash. When Supply Drop enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +2 and +2 until the end of the turn. Or tap 5 to sacrifice and then draw a card. Airlift Champion, 3 white mana human cleric card with flying. When it enters the battlefield, mail 3 cards. You may put a plains card or a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Airlift Chaplain. Alright. Flow of Knowledge, 5 blue mana instant spell card. Draw a card for each island you control and then discard 2 cards. Gaia's Courser, 5 green mana centaur soldier creature token. Whenever it attacks, if there are 3 or more cards in your graveyard, oh yeah, we've actually seen that one. Bushwhack, single green mana sorcery card. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle, or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Soul Partition, 2 white mana instant spell cards. Exile a target online permanent. For as long as this card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast by opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. Okay. And then Old School Quicksilver Amulet card for 4 mana. You can put a creature card from your hand into the battlefield. Alright. So where are we at now? We have 5, so we've only opened 5 packs so far. Let's see now. Okay, no card. I'm just gonna go ahead and toss the no cards. I never seem to use them for anything. Desynchronize. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library and scries 2. That's a 5 blue mana instant cards. Bitter Reunion, 2 red mana enchantment cards. When it enters the battlefield, you can discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. And then tap 1 to sacrifice Bitter Reunion. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of the turn. Burrowing Razor Maw, 3 green mana, beast creature card. When it dies, mill 4 cards. Killzone Acrobat, 3 black mana, human soldier creature card. Whenever a Killzone Acrobat attacks, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, Killzone Acrobat gains flying until the end of the turn. Okay. Commission 2 white mana sorcery card. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature enters the battlefield this way, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. This is Mine Worker, Assembly Worker, a tap to gain 1 life. If you control creatures named Power Plant Worker and Tower Worker, you gain 3 life instead. Scrapwork Cohort, 4 mana, artifact creature soldier card. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact. I think we've seen that like maybe about twice over now. Scrapwork Rager. When Scrapwork Rager enters the battlefield, draw a card and lose 1 life. Or then unearth for cost of 4. Torcasta's Dig Site is a basic land card, colorless land card. Hulking Metamorph. This is a blue mecha card once again. This Falaji Vanguard, we've already seen one. Dreams of Steel and Oil, black sorcery card. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it, then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. That's a black. Misery Shadow, 2 black mana, shade creature card. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile instead. Or tap 1 to gain +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Old School Howling Mine card, 2 mana artifact. At the beginning of each player's draw step, the Howling Mine is untapped. That player draws an additional card. And another hollow card. This is Urzra, Prince of Krug, 4 blue and white mana, legendary creature, human artificer. Artifact creatures that you control get +2/+2. Tap 6 to create a token that's a copy of a target artifact creature you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types. So that's a really, really good one when it comes to using the mechas. Okay, four remaining, and well, this is really only the first step. So that would actually be 24 booster packs remaining. All right. Alright, so Sahel Filigree Master Emblem. Artifact tokens you control get +1/+1. Artifact spells cost 1 less to cast. So I pulled that out of the back. I thought it was going to be a token card. Gixian Skullflayer, 3 black Phyrexian human assassin. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Gixian Skullflayer. Survivor of Corliss, human soldier with first strike. Tap 2 to exile Survivor of Corliss from your graveyard and scry 2. Urza's Rebuff, 3 3 blue mana instant spell card. Counter a target spell or tap up to 2 target creatures. Sibling Rivalry, 4 red mana sorcery card. Gain control of a target artifact or creature until the end of the turn. Untap it, and it gains haste until the end of the turn, and then create a tap Power Stone token. This one. Alright. Naru Pallbearer, 6 green mana, Tree Folk Druid with Trample. When Gnarlroot Pallbearer enters the battlefield, target creature gets XX until the end of the turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Really good for a pickup game. Disfigure, instant spell card. Target creature gets -2/-2 until the end of the turn. Hoarding Recluse, 4 green mana spider creature with reach and death touch. When Hoarding Recluse dies, put up to one other target card from your graveyard into the bottom of its owner's library. Alright. Goblin Blast Runner, single red mana goblin creature. Goblin Blast Runner gets +2/+1 and has menace as long as you sacrifice a permanent this turn. Thraxodemon, 2 black mana, demon creature card, tap 4 to sacrifice another creature or artifact and draw a card. I think those two actually might work well with each other. Dwarven Forge Chanter, dwarf wizard creature, ward, pay 2 life. Our prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Obstinate Beloth, 4 green mana beast creature token. Oh, I think we've seen this one. Giant Cindermaw, 3 red mana, dinosaur beast creature with trample. Players don't have the ability to gain life. Hero of the Dunes, human soldier creature, 3 white and black mana. When Hero of the Dunes enters the battlefield, return a target artifact or creature card with a mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Creatures you control with mana value 3 or less get +1/+0. Is ideal for the soldier deck. Let's see. Tyrant of Courageous, 6 red mana dragon creature card with flying. When Tyrant of Courageous enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to any target. Tyrant of Courageous, tap 1 red mana to gain +1/+0 until the end of the turn. And then Ivory Tower, old school artifact card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life, where X is the number of cards in your hand -4. Alright. Okay. Here's another Rust Goliath. Goring Warplow. I think we've seen that one as well. Military Discipline. Flash enchant creature. When military discipline enters the battlefield, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0. Yeah. That red goes there. That white goes there. Alright. Coastal Bulwark, got 2 mana creatures. Well, the wall. That's the wall card again. Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, we've seen that one. Prison Sentence. Scatteray. This one is Supply Drop, yeah. Airlift Champlain. Yeah, we've seen this one too. Suchi Cave Guard. Construct with Vigilance, ward of 4. When Suchi Cave Guard dies, add 8 mana until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So just by killing that card off, you just add 8 mana to the field. Levitating Statue, 2 mana artifact with flying. When you can cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Levitating Statue. Tap 2 to become a 1/1 construct artifact creature until the end of turn. Okay. Keeper of the Cadence, 5 blue mana human wizard. Tap 3 to put an artifact, instant, or sorcery card from a graveyard into the bottom of your owner's library. Ariza, Lord Protector, legendary creature, human artificer, 3 white and blue mana. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells will cost 1 less to cast. If you both own and control Ursa, Lord Protector, and an artifact named the Might Stone and the Weak Stone, exile them, then meld them into Ursa Planeswalker, activate only as a sorcerer. I've never seen a commander card have its own criteria for re-entering the field before. Old school Foundry Inspector card, 3 mana, artifact spells you want, cost 1 less to cast. Alright. Basic, for a basic green mana card, and then another Power Stone token. Alright. That's a really strange commander. Well, you know. I expect if we find any commanders in this, that they're bound to only work exclusively with the play gimmicks that are in this set. Probably another reason why a lot of people don't seem to like this this concept as much. All right, another Power Stone, Curate, 2 blue mana instant card. Oh yeah, I think we've already seen that. Pentragon Strongbow, another Tawno's Tinkering, Dredging Claw. A quick creature gets +1/+0 and has menace. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield from the graveyard, you can attach Dredging Claw to it, or tap equip to tap 2 mana, including a black mana, and Aeronaut Cavalry. Oh yeah, we've already seen that. Third pass event. Tap 7 to draw 2 cards. Yeah, we've seen that one. Warlord Elite. We've seen that one. Unleash Shell. 5 red mana instant spell card. Unleash Shell deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker and 2 damage to that permanence controller. Goblin Firebomb. Yeah, we've seen that one. Race to the Ground, 3 red mana sorcery card. The spell can't be countered. Destroy a target artifact if its mana value was 1 or less. Draw a card. Sardian Cliff Stomper, 2 red mana Minotaur Barbarian creature. As long as it's your turn and you command 4 or more mountains, Sardian Cliff Stomper gets X0, where X is the number of mountains you control. Repair and Recharge. Yeah, we've already seen that. Junkyard Genius. A creature, human artificer, black and red, and 3 mana. When Junkyard Genius enters a battlefield, create a tap Power Stone token. Or tap 3 to sacrifice another creature or artifact until end of turn. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace and haste. I'll put that in red. Hajar Loyal Bodyguard, legendary creature, human soldier. Green, 2 red and green mana. Sacrifice Hajar Loyal Bodyguard, legendary creatures you control. Gain +1/0 and indestructible until end of turn. If you're playing this in Commander, that means if this is your Commander, this is more than likely the only card you're going to be able to buff for +1/+0 and indestructible. You know, to be fair, it would be really great if your Commander card was indestructible. So, yeah, I'll put that one in red. Well, I like it. Yeah, you like it. Liquid Metal Coating, 2 mana artifact tap to become an artifact in addition to its other types until the end of the turn. Alright. So, put the last... put the last of the stack of 10 and then pull out another stack of 10 from the Commander box. Alright. See. Trying to put all these facing up. Trying to unfold them while facing up as well. Alright. Takasia's Amulet, 5 mana artifact creature construct. When Takasia's artifact leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Another Depth Charge Colossus. Mishra's Domination, 2 red mana enchantment aura. As long as you control an enchantment creature, it gains +2/+2. Otherwise, it can't block. Argothian Sprite, 2 green mana fairy creature with can't be blocked by an artifact creature, or tap 7 mana to put 2 +1/+1 counters on Argothian Sprite. Power Stone Fracture, 2 black mana sorcery. As an additional cost, to sacrifice an artifact or creature, and then destroy a target creature or a planeswalker. Alright. Phalanx Vanguard, human soldier, creature token with vigilance. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, it gains +1/+0. Okay, here's another Hoarding Recluse. Here's another Goblin Blast Runner. Here's another Thraxa Demon. Here's another Dwarven Forge Chanter. Spotter Thopter, 8 mana artifact creature token with flying, or 2/3 as a prototype. When Scepter Thopter enters the battlefield, scry X, where X is its power. Battlefield Butcher, 3 black mana human soldier. Tap 6, each opponent will lose 2 life. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature card in your graveyard. Involuntary cooldown, 4 blue mana sorcery. Tap up to 2 target artifacts or creature and put 2 stun counters on each of them. Yeah, that's a blue. Perennial Behemoth, 5 mana artifact creature beast. Uh-oh. I think my camera has given up the ghost. I wonder what I can possibly do about that. Let's see. What could I possibly do? So, I wonder if I can just reset it when. So I might just be able to reset it from the properties menu if that ever happens again. All right. So. All right. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, old school unwinding clock, 4 mana artifact token, untap all artifacts you control during each player's untap step, and then zombie token. All right. Okay, another note card. So I tend to think that the note cards also show up in stacks that actually do have foil cards in them. So I don't feel too terrible about seeing them. Badger Snatch Golem, 7 artifact creature golem, or 4 green mana as a prototype. When Boulder Breach Golem enters the battlefield, you can gain life equal to its powers. Okay. Clay Revenant, 1 mana artifact creature golem card, enters the battlefield tapped. Tap 3 to return it from your graveyard into your hand. Yoshian Medic, yeah, with lifelink. Okay, yeah, we've seen that one before. Fallfell Archaeologist, 2 blue mana human scout creature. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a non-creature, non-land card from among the cards you mill this way into your hand. Another Fallaji Chain Dancer. Perimeter Patrol, 3 green mana human soldier creature cards. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it gains +1/+0 until the end of turn. Yeah, that one right there. Okay. Ravenous Gigamole. 4 black mana mole horror creature. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a creature card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Ravenous Gigamole. Okay. Sentinel Stalwart, Elf Druid Soldier, tap to an untapped artifact creature you control, or add 1 mana color of any value. Machine Over Matter, 2 blue instant spell card. This costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact creature. Return the target non-land permanent into its owner's hand. Okay. Disciples of Gix, 6 black mana Phyrexian human creature card. Search your library for up to 3 artifact cards, put them into your graveyard, and then shuffle them. Up to your graveyard. Okay, so yeah. Demolition Field, colorless land card. Gruesome Retaliate. Yeah, we've already seen that. Painful Quandary. 5 black mana enchantment card. Whenever opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. Old School Foundry Inspector card. Yeah, I think we've already seen that, just not in the old cards. And then this is the foil Blanchwood Armor card. 3 green mana enchantment aura. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest. Alright. Hey, where are we? Okay, yeah, we're 30 minutes in. I'm certainly hope that we're going to be able to finish this in 3 hours, but if not, then I'm just going to stay on and finish the box. All right. Let me see. Yeah, another Power Stone token. Mishra's Onslaught. Yeah, I think you've already seen that one. Wasteful Harvest. Another Carrion Locust. Disenchant 2 white mana, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Once again, as basic as spell cards get. Another Mightstone's Animation. Conscripted Infantry, 3 red mana human soldier. When it dies, create a 1/1. Yeah, I think we've seen that one too. Warlord's Elite, 3 white mana, human soldier creature. As an additional cost, cast a spell, tap onto tapped artifacts, creatures, and lands you control. Is this really a spell? Because it looks more like a creature human soldier card. As an additional cost to cast a spell, maybe that's a typo. Maybe I have a typo card here. Tap 2 untapped artifacts, creatures, or lands. Well, I mean, I think, yeah, they do require you to cast this card, which is 4/5 attack, at a higher amount, and as a result, you have to tap 2 untapped artifacts or creatures. Okay, so Unleash Shell deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or 2 damage to that permanent's controller. 5 red mana. Another Race to the Ground. Another Ravenous Gigamole. Go for the Throat. Destroy target non-artifact creature. We've seen it, but not for a long time. Battery Bearer. 4 green and blue mana. Human Artificer creature card. Creatures you control have tap to add 1 mana. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. Whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 6 or greater, draw a card. I'll put that one in green. Gurgling Anointer, 3 black mana, Phyrexian Horror, creature with flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Gurgling Anointer. When it dies, return another target creature with mana value less than or equal to Gurgling Anointer's power from your hand to the battlefield. Okay. Gix the Yogsmouth Protector. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. Phyrexian Praetor. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one or more of your opponents, this controller may pay 1 life. If it does, draw a card. Tap 7 to discard X amount of cards. Exile the top X cards of your target opponent's library. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. Well, if you ever wanted a Phyrexian commander, there it is. And then Springleaf Drum. Okay, I think we've seen it, just not in the old school. Wonder Bar. You know, it's not too terrible in effect either. Let's see. Okay, another Power Stone token. Okay, another Light-Em Adept. Rock Hunter, Human Soldier with Reach. Yeah, we've seen that one. Toma Skull Honor Guard, 2 green mana, Human Soldier with Ward 2. Monument of Defiance. Yeah, we've seen that one. Union of the Third Path. It's 3 white mana, instant spell card, draw a card, and gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Giant Growth. 1 green mana, instant spell card. Target creature gets 3/3 until the end of the turn. Air Marshal, 2 blue mana, human soldier creature card. Tap 3 to gain flying until the end of the turn. Okay. Another Gaia's Gift. Another. Well, I think this one is new. Excavation Explosion. 3 red mana sorcery card, deals 3 damage to any target. Create a tapped Power Stone token. Great Desert Prospector. Okay, yeah, we've seen this one. So, a significant amount of these cards, they come from different sets and they're at different power levels, but their effect is simply to create a Power Stone token. Lay down arms, exile target's creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. The controller gains 3 life. Transmorgant Altar, 3 mana artifact creature card. Tap a black mana to sacrifice a creature and then add 3 colorless mana. Tap 3 to sacrifice a creature, create a 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token, activate only as a sorcery. Alright. Tokasla's Welcome, 3 white mana enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once per turn. Okay. Ornithopter, old school card. 0/0 mana cost card with flying. So as cheap as a flying card can possibly get. And then foil, Gaia's Gift, 2 green mana instant card. Okay. I think, yeah, the very last one that we looked at was Gaia's Gifts, and so this is it in and out of foil. Alright. Alright, so next one. Done, I'm done. On to the next one. Done, I'm done. I'm on to the next one. Okay. Okay, another paper token card. I might start tossing these because I've got better tokens than that. Let's see. Another Gixlian Skullflayer. Okay. Another Survivor of Corliss. Urza's Rebuff for 3 blue mana instant. Counter a target spell or tap up to 2 target creatures. Sibling Rivalry. 4 red mana sorcery card. Gain control of a target artifact or creature until the end of the turn. Untap it. It gains haste until the end of the turn. Another Naru Pallbearer. Disfigure. Yeah, okay, we've seen Disfigure. Sentinel Stalwart, single green mana elf druid soldier. Tap an untapped artifact creature you control or add 1 mana of any color. Machine Over Matter, 2 blue mana instant spell card. Okay, we've actually seen this. Cost 4 less, 1 less. If you control an artifact creature, return a non-land permanent to its owner's side. Well, then it costs nothing. Costs nothing if you are actually running the artifact deck. Alright, so, let's see. Giant Growth. +3/+3 until... Well, target creature gains +3/+3 until the end of turn. I think it's new, but I also think it's very basic. Another Air Marshal. Yorkshian Tactician, 2 white and blue mana, human soldier creature. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1. I'll put that one in blue. Reconstructed Thopter, 3 mana Thopter artifact creature with flying and unearth of 2. Static Net, 4 white mana enchantment card. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Static Net leaves the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and create a tap Power Stone token. Hall of Tagzin, land card. Colorless land card. Soul Guide Lantern, single colorless mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, exile a target card from a graveyard. Sacrifice spell Soul Guide Lantern, exile each opponent's graveyard. Sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern or draw a card. Alright. Let's see. What is this? Okay, this is actually a spirit token. Alright. Interesting to actually pull a different type of token from this set. Another Resgoliath. Another Goring Warplow. Yeah. Another Military Discipline. Another Coastal Bulwark. Another Scrapwork Mutt. Stone Retrieval Unit, 4 mana artifact creature construct. When it enters the battlefield, create a tap Power Stone token. Tower Worker, reach. So I think this is the one in the trifecta. Reach with 3 colorless mana, Assembly Worker artifact creature. Tap to add a white mana if you can control creatures named Mine Worker and Power Plant Worker, add 3 instead. Wing Commando, 3 human soldier creature with flying. Trench Stalker, 4 black mana beast horror creature. I think we've seen that one. Steel Exemplar, 5 artifact creature wizard with trample. Steel Exemplar enters the battlefield with 2++1/+1 counters on it, unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent to cast it. Alright. Obliterating Bolt, I think you've seen that one. Blanchwood Armor, 3 green mana, aura enchantment card. Let me see. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest. I think there's one of those for every color of mana in this set. Simeon's Simulacrum, ape artifact creature. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature you control, and then unearth it for 4 mana. Old School Staff of Domination, 3 colorless mana, untap Staff of Domination, gain 1 life, untap a target creature, tap a target creature, or draw a card. Okay, and then a swamp basic land. Alright. Okay, we're already approaching the 3 hours mark. I think we're 15 booster. We still have like 15 booster packs to go. And that's still something of a generous estimate. Okay, no card. Stern Lesson, 3 blue mana, instant spell card, draw 2 cards and discard a card to create a tap Power Stone token. Okay. Whirling Strike, a 2 red mana instant card, a target creature gets +2/+2 and gains first strike and trample until the end of the turn. Shoot Down, 4 green mana sorcery, exile a target artifact or enchantment or a creature with flying. So let's see. Gix's Caressed, 3 black mana sorcery card. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. And then create a tapped Power Stone token. Okay. Deadly Riposte, you've seen that one. Koilos Rock. 5 bird. Yeah, we've seen that one. It's just been a long time. Another Gaia's Gift. Another Excavation Explosion. Another Stone Retrieval unit. Another Fall of Krug. Ferric Blast, 4 red mana, instant spell card. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Second Blast deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target, and then draw a card. A Cradle Clearcutter, Golem Artifact Creature, 6 mana. I think we've seen this one before. Okay. Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa. This is a legendary creature. 5 mana, black and red. Permanents you control have ward, sacrifice a permanent. Each artifact card in your graveyard has Unearth, 1 black and red. So this effectively allows you to bring back every single artifact card, not just the ones that have an Unearth skill on it. Old school Burnished Heart, Elk artifact creature. Tap 3 to sacrifice it, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them in your battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. And then another Urza Lord Protector. Oh, I think we did. We've looked at this one. Let me see. Yeah, this one was the one that required both Might Stone and Weak Stone. Put that one in blue. Okay. Let's see. Next one. All right. Okay, Spirit Token. Okay, another Takasa's Outlet, another Depth Charge Colossus, another Mishra's Domination, another Argothian Sprite, Power Stone Fracture. Yeah, I think we've already seen this one. This one was in black. Not the same card as Explosion, mind you, but still, you know, it is a fracture of a Power Stone. Phalanx Vanguard, 2 white mana. Human Soldier with Vigil. Yeah, we've seen that one. Another Combat Courier. Blitz Automaton. Okay, this one requires red mana. I don't think we've seen this one. 7 mana artifact creature, construct card, or 3/2 with red mana and haste. Another Fog of War. Energy Refractor. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Tap 2 to add 1 mana of any color. Meticulous Excavation, single white mana enchantment card. Tap 3 to return a target permanent you control into its owner's hand. If it has Unearth, instead exile it, then return that card to the owner's hand. Activate it only during your turn. Pelagi Excavation, 5 green mana sorcery. Create 3 tapped Power Stone tokens. That's the most Power Stone tokens yet. Lauren, Disciple of History, 4 white mana, legendary creature, Human Artificer. Whenever Lauren, Disciple of History, or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, return a target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So what this is telling me is there's actually a precedent for having multiple legendary creatures in one commander deck. I mean, so a significant amount of them will probably be just the ones in your 100 card draw, but nevertheless, you are going to get some sort of advantage by doing that. Okay, Sky Strike Officer, 3 blue mana, human soldier creature with flying. Yeah, when it does create a 1/1. Yeah, we've seen that one. So, it's just the strangest amount of distinguishability that exists between the flying soldier that creates normal soldiers, and the other flying soldier which gives another soldier flying. And then the old school Jalum Tome 3 mana artifact, tap 3 to draw 1 card and then discard a card. Alright. In addition to these being very old school cards, I think they very old school artifact cards. I think they also have very old school effects on them. You know, but you would expect that, wouldn't you? Another Power Stone. Another Boulder Branch Golem. Another Clay Revenant. Yoshin Medic with Lifelink. Yeah, we've already seen that one. Balaji Archaeologist. When it enters 2 blue mana Human Scout. Yeah, we've already seen that one. Another Fadalal Chain Dancer. Another Tower Worker. A Wing Commando 3 blue mana Human Soldier with Flying and Prowess. Whenever you control a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Trenchstalker. 5 mana Beast Horror creature card. 5 black mana. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Trenchstalker has Death Touch and Lifelink. Another Combat Courier. Symmetry Matrix, 4 mana artifact. Whenever a creature with power equal to this toughness equals the battlefield under your control, you can pay 1, and if you do, draw a card. I forgot. Forgot what specifically, Devin. Let's see. Alloy Animist. Human druid creature. Single green mana. Tap 3 to target a non-creature artifact you control to turn it into a 4/4 artifact creature. I forgot what Death Touch does. Death Touch means that, you know, if the creature is involved in combat, then the creature that attacked it is going to die. So in a situation where it's weaker than another creature and it has to be sent to the graveyard, it's going to end up killing the opponent's creature as well. Alright. Splitting the Power Stone. 3 blue mana sorcery card. As an additional cost to this spell, sacrifice an artifact. Create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. If the sacrifice artifact was a legendary, draw a card. Alright. Ashnod Flesh Mechanist, single black mana legendary creature, Human Artificer. Wow. I have never seen a single mana legendary creature before. Has Death Touch. Whenever Ashnod Flesh Mechanist attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, create a tapped Power Stone token. Tap 5 to exile a creature card from your graveyard and create a tapped 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. So this one is interesting because, like I said, this is probably a rare set that allows you to use multiple legendary creature cards in a single commander deck. And so, out of respect for that, you know, they do just have one that is as simple and squishy as that one is. Bonesaw, 0 mana artifact equipment card. Equip creature gets +1/+0 and equip 1. That's got to be the simplest weapon that we've seen yet. And a foil simulacrum. I need to work on my pronunciation on that one. Alright. Okay, we have... I think 4 boosters here. At the end of 4 boosters, we'll have 10 more boosters. Alright. Okay, another Power Stone token. Mishra's Juggernaut, 5 Juggernaut artifact creature with trample. Yeah, we've seen that one. Blanchwood Prowler, 2 green elemental creature. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a land card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter. Gixian Infiltrator. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Gillian Infiltrator. 2 black mana. Another Veteran's Power Blade. Retrieval Agent, 4 blue mana. Human Soldier creature card. Tap 2 to gain +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Tomakul Scrapsmith. Yeah, we've already seen that one. Power Stone Engineer. Human Artificer creature. When it dies, create a tapped Power Stone token. Another Power Plant Worker. Another Ashnod's Intervention. The artifact pile is getting, incredibly big here. That can't be helped. Epic Confrontation. Arbalist Engineers. Mask of the Jade Crafter, 2 artifact. Sacrifice, tap 3 to sacrifice it. Create an XX colorless golem artifact creature token. Activate only as a sorcery. Forging the Anchor. 3 blue mana sorcery card. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal any number of artifact cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest into the bottom of your library in random order. Fade from History. 4 green mana sorcery card. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a 2/2 green bear creature token. Then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So you're basically just turning all of your artifacts into bears in that situation. Iker Wellspring. Yeah, we've already seen that one. Let's see. Oops, all bears. Suddenly bears. Okay, another Power Stone card. Latnam Adept, 4 blue mana human wizard creature token. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Latnam Adept. Rock Hunter, human soldier with reach. Yeah, alright. Tomakul Honor Guard, 2 green mana with Ward of 2. Moment of Defiance, 3 black mana, instant spell card. Target creature gains +2/+1 and gains lifelink until the end of turn. Draw a card. Let's see. Union of the Third Path, 3 white mana, instant card, draw a card, then gain life equal to the number of cards. Oh yeah, we've actually seen that one. Another Blitz Automaton. So, Dios míos. So I think it's tilting because it doesn't really have a very solid base. Let's try to see if we can give it that solid base that it needs. At the same time, the green cards and the black cards are really intermingling right now. Snack time. Oh, stack time. I mean, I wish it was snack time. But it's really late, and yeah, I don't want to put on the extra weight. Fog of War. Yeah, we've seen that one. Energy Refractor. Power Stone Engineer. Spectrum Sentinel, single artifact creature soldier card, protection from multicolored. This creature can't be blocked, targeted, death, damage, enchanted, or equipped by anything multicolored. That's actually a very good skill. Snack time sounds nice too. Yeah, well, do what you want, but I don't want to eat this late. Saranth Steelseeker, 2 green mana, human artificer scout. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card in your library. If it's a land card, you can reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't, put the card in your hand and then put it into the graveyard. Yoshin Dissident, green-white mana card, human artificer creature. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on the target creature that you control. Phyrexian Dragon Engine, 3 mana artifact creature Phyrexian Dragon card with double strike. When Phyrexian Dragon Engine enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you can discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. Okay. Swiftfoot Boots, artifact card, artifact equipment. Equip creature has hexproof and haste, and then equip of 1. And then a blue land mana. Yeah, 2 more here. Okay, no card. Perimeter control, 3 green mana human soldier creature token. Oh yeah, we've actually seen this one before. Then Graxian Skull Flare. Survivor of Colas, first strike. Yeah, we've seen that one. It's been a while. Urza's rebuff, 4 blue mana. Yeah, counter target spell or tap up to 3 target creatures. Another Sibling Rivalry. Another Nalroot Pallbearer. Aeronaut's Rings, 2 mana, artifact equipment card. A equipped creature gets +1/+0 and flying. Swiftgear Drake. Yeah, we've seen that one. It's been a while though. Relatively rare card. Weakstone Subjugation. Another Yoshin Frontliner. Another Mishra Excavation Prodigy. Another Monastery Strift Spear, single red mana card, human monk with haste and prowess. Hostile Negotiations for black mana instant spell card. Exile the top 3 cards in your library in a face down pile, then exile the top 3 cards from your library in another face down pile. Look at the cards in each pile, then turn a pile of your choice face up. An opponent chooses one of these piles. Put that pile into your hand and then the other into your graveyard, and you lose 3 life. Thorn of Amethyst, 2 mana artifact card. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. And clearly another legendary creature card. Harbin Vanguard Aviator, white and blue mana, legendary creature, human soldier with flying. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain flying until the end of the turn. I'll put that one in white. Alright. Okay, so after here, then we'll only have 10 packs to open. Because this one had to be stubborn because we know we're reaching the end of the pile at this point. Okay, another paper token card. Another Argothian Opportunist, another Goblin Firebomb. Recommission, sorcery, return target artifact creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, okay, so another Curate. Pendragon Strongbull, 3 red mana Minotaur creature. Sacrifice an artifact, it gains +1 until the end of the turn and then deals 1 damage to the opponent. Another Tano's Tinkering, another Power Plant Worker, another Ashnod's Intervention, another Epic Confrontation, another Aeronauter's Wings, Another No One Left Behind. Well, hang on. No One Left Behind. I don't think we've seen this one. 5 black mana. Costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature card with mana value of 3 or less. Return the target creature card from your graveyard into the battlefield. Zephyr Sentinel, 2 blue mana, human soldier with flash flying. Okay, yeah, we've actually seen that one. Thopter Architect, 4 white mana, human artificer. Whenever an architect enters the battlefield, whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, a target creature gains flying until the end of the turn. Blast Zone, colorless land card, and Chromatic Star, artifact, 1 mana, sacrifice it. Tap 1 mana and sacrifice Chromatic Star to add 1 mana of any color. When Chromatic Star is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. I'm getting introduced to a lot of very old artifact cards with very basic effects. Alright. Here is the final 10. Okay. Once again, make sure I'm putting them face up. Alright. Alright, so... Ooh, actual soldier token card. I could have used a lot more of those. That is a lot of packs left to go. Well, I mean, as much as can be expected. Just take the whole box that it came in and try to cram it into the garbage can. Alright, so... Another Stern lesson. A Whirling Strike, 2 red mana, instant card. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and trample until the end of the turn. Shoot down for green mana card, exile target enchantment or creature with flying. Gix's Caress. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. The player discards that card. Another Deadly Riposte. I have to get ready to go kind of soon myself. The missus wants to spend time with me and watch a movie. Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure that, when you get back to the end of this, that you'll watch the last 15 or 20 minutes of the replay. And at any rate, we've opened up so many card packs that there's bound to mostly be repeats, like this Colorless Rock, these Evolving Wilds, this Overwhelming Remorse, this Logan's Escape, Defabricate, 2 blue mana, instant, counter target artifact or creature spell. If it's countered this way, exile it instead of putting into the owner's graveyard, or a counter target activated or triggered ability. Thopter Mechanic, yeah, we've already seen that one. Combat Thresher, Over the Top, Pristine Talisman, 3 mana, tap to add 1 mana and gain 1 life. At least the old school cards in the back are unique. Every single one of those has been unique so far. If I don't catch you before the end, go ahead and raid out, then have a good night. Thanks for sharing all those 6 cards tonight. I love my full art cards. Yeah, I love my full art cards too. Alright, have a good time, Devin. Thank you very much for tuning in. Alright, so, no. I don't want to start putting I don't want to start putting the foil packs inside of the big open box. Cheers, lots of love. So long, thank you very much for watching. Alright, yeah. Another Disfigure. Well, yeah, another Disfigure. Tokasla's Amulet. 5 mana artifact creature construct card. When this leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Alright. Depth Charge Colossus. 9 mana artifact creature Dreadnought. Yeah, we've already seen that one. Mishra's Domination. Argothian Sprite, another Power Stone Fracture, another Swiftgear Drake, Weak Stone Subjugation, another Evolving Wilds, another Overwhelming Remorse, Evangel of Synthesis creature, Phyrexian Human Cleric. When an Evangel of Synthesis enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. As long as you're drawn 2 or more cards this time, Evangel of Synthesis gains +1/+0 and has menace. I'm gonna put that one in black. Haywire Might 1 artifact creature insect card. When Haywire Might dies, gain 2 life. Sacrifice Haywire Might, sacrifice 1. Exile a target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Argivian Avenger, Shapeshifter, 6 mana artifact creature. Until the end of the turn, Argivian Adventure gains -1/-1, and then gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste. Llanowar Waste, black and green mana card. I'll put it in green. Defense Grid, 2 artifacts, a 2 mana artifact. Each spell costs 3 or more casts except during its controller's turn. And then another Power Stone token. Alright. Pack number 9. Okay. So let's see here. Another Dredging Claw. Another Aeronaut Cavalry. Third Pass Savant. Tap, 7 taps 2 cards. I don't know about working that one. Another Mithra's Onslaught. Another Wasteful Harvest. Another Mineworker. Another Scrapwork Cohort. Well, let me see. We have those. Scrapwork Wager, 4 mana, Phyrexian Horror Artifact. Yeah, we've seen that one. Takassio's Dayside, that's the colorless mana card. So, another Power Stone token. Third Path Iconoclast, Human Monk Creature, Water and Fire. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact token. Simple enough. Put it in blue. Falagi Dragon Engine. Yeah, we've seen that one. Recruitment Officer. The Stone of Brain. 2 mana, legendary artifact. Tap 3. Exile a Stone Brain, choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library to up to 4 cards with that name, and then exile them. That player shuffles and draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way, activate only as a sorcery. For up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. That doesn't actually work well in Commander. The reason being is that you're only allowed to have 1 card each and build a deck of 100 in Commander. Millstone. You could actually use that to actually fish out a card that you know that your opponent is going to try to play against you in a devastating fashion. But, I wonder if it's worth the mana cost to play it in that manner. Millstone, 2 mana, artifact cards, target player mills 2 cards. Okay, this is the foil card. This one is Phalanx Vanguard. 2 white mana, human soldier card with vigilance. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, then it gains +1 and 0 until the end of the turn. Yeah, and that's a white mana card. Alright. So this is number 8. Alright. Another Koyos Rock. Another Mishra's Judgment. Another Branchwood Prowler. Another Gixian Infiltrator. Well, actually, I don't think we've seen this one. 2 black mana Phyrexian Human. Whenever you sacrifice it, put a +1/+1 counter on Gixian Infiltrator. Alright. Where's my black? I think that's my black, and that should be my green. I'm going to need to sort that one out again. Actually, I think that one is supposed to be my black. Alright. Another Veteran's Power Blade. Another Retrieval Agent. Lauren's Escape. 1 white mana card. Target or artifact creature gains hexproof or indestructible until the end of turn in Scry 1. Another Mine Worker. Another Scrapwork Cohort. Another Scrapwork Rager. Gnawing Vermin, black mana rat creature card. When it enters the battlefield, target creature remains 2 cards. We have these, but we haven't seen them in a while. A Calamity's Wake, 2 white mana instant card. Exile all the graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn, and then exile Calamity Wake. Thran Power Suit, 2 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and has ward of 2. And then equip cost is 2. Brotherhood's End, another Chromatic Star, and a no card. Alright. Okay, 7 cards. Okay, another Phalanx Vanguard, another Latnam Adept, another Rock Hunter, Tomocal Honor Guard, 2 green mana, ward of 2. Okay, yeah. We've seen them, but it's just really that the description is so short. Alright. Moment of Defiance, another Prison Sentence, Scatter Ray, another Supplies, Supply Drop. What am I even saying? Okay. Airlift Champlain, Skyfisher Spider, yeah, with Reach. Okay, yeah, we've seen that one. I think the last one I put in black. Slagstone Refinery, 4 miners, 4 mana artifact. When it enters, another non-token artifact you control to put into a graveyard from the battlefield is put up into exile. From the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Okay. Ashmod's Harvester, 2 mana artifact. Yeah, we've seen that one. The Stasis Coffin, 3 mana legendary artifact. Tap 3 to exile the Stasis Coffin. You gain protection from everything until the beginning of your next turn. Gilded Lotus, 5 mana artifact card. Add 3 mana of any one color. Not a black Lotus, which is one of the rarest and most sought after cards in all of Magic. Blue, basic mana card, and Power Stone token. Alright. So I believe this is 6. Alright. Another soldier token. Carrion Locust. Yeah, black. Disenchant. Mightstone's Animation. Conscripted Infantry, 3 red mana, human soldier card. When it dies, create a soldier artifact token. Another Rust Goliath. Another Goring Warplow. Yeah, another Colorless Land. Another Prison Sentence. Another Scatter Ray. Another Heavyweight Demolisher. Another Take Flight. Another Thran Vigil. Thran Vigil. Okay. One with a multiverse. 8 blue mana enchantment card. Look at the top card of your library anytime. You can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Once during each of your turn, you can cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. Alright. Another Sigil of Valor and an Obstinate Baloth. 4 green mana creature, beast. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. If a spell or ability your opponent controls causes you to discard Obstinate Baloth, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. Alright, so yeah, so that's a green, and that's the foil card in the set. And so this is, well, this is 5, because I think, yeah, 4 remaining, so almost at the bottom of this. We've gotten to the bottom of this case, this case of the enumerate magic cards. Alright, so another Power Stone. Tumical Scrapsmith, 3 red mana. Yeah, okay. Argothian Opportunist. Yeah, that goes in the green. Emergency Rel, 2 black mana, sorcery card, return an artifact creature. Oh yeah, we've seen that one. Ambush Paratrooper, human soldier with flash and flying. Tap 5 for creatures you control, getting +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Desynchronize, 5 blue mana instant, target non-land permanence owner puts it at the top or the bottom of the library and scry 2. Bitter Reunion, Hoarding Recluse, Goblin Blast Runner, Thraxodemon, Dwarven Forge Chanter, Arms Race, 4 red mana enchantment. You can put an artifact card from your hand into the battlefield. That artifact gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. Mass Production, Mithra's Research Desk, 1 mana artifact. Sacrifice it to exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them at the end of your next turn. You can play that card. Transmogrant's Crown, 2 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever the equipped creature dies, draw a card. Equip cost of 2. And Mishra's Bauble, 0 mana artifact card. Tap it to look at the top card of the target player's library. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. I think we've had one of those, but it's been a while since we've seen it, so... Oh, actually, you know, I think I miscounted. I still have 5 remaining. This is the 5th one. Okay. Alright. So, another token card. Killzone Acrobat. Humans. This is the foil card in the set. I just kind of jumped the gun a little bit. Okay. Human soldier creature. When it attacks, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, Killzone Acrobat gains flying until the end of the turn. All right. Another Union of the Third Path. Another Stern Lesson. Another Whirling Strike. Another Shoot Down. Another Gix's Caress. Another Supply Drop. See, this is the size of the artifact pile in this one. You know, if you need to know other proof how important artifacts are, then you can definitely look at this. Okay, so let's see. Airlift Chaplain, Hoarding Recluse, Goblin Blast Runner, Iron Claw Crusher, Power Stone Prodigy, Audacity, Hercule's Final Meditation for 5, 6, 7 mana instant card. As long as it's not your turn, this spell costs 3 more to cast. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands, and then end the turn. And then Scrap Traveler, 3 mana, artifact creature, construct. Whenever Scrap Traveler or another artifact you control is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser mana value. Alright. Pack number 4. Blah. Another note card. Another military discipline. Coastal Bulwark. Coastal Bulwark. 2 mana. Yeah. Oh, that's the wall card again. Okay. Another Scrapwork Mutt. Boulder Snatch Golem. Oops. Another Clay Revenant. Yoishin Medic. Warlord's Elite. 3 white mana human soldier as an additional cost to cast this. Tap 2 untapped artifacts. Okay. Unleash a Shell. 5 red mana. Instant card. Unleash Shell deals 5 damage to a target creature or planewalker and 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Another Raise to the Ground. Another Ravenous Gigamole. Corrupt, 6 black mana sorcery card. Deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. Also gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Gaia's Corsair. Okay, I think we've seen that one. Yeah, Flow of Knowledge. Probably only have 2 in the whole set at this point. Razor Lash, Transmigrant, 2 mana artifact creature zombie card. It can't block. And then tap 6 mana to return Razor Slash Transmigrant from your graveyard to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. This ability costs 4 less to activate if your opponent controls 4 or more non-basic lands. And Chromatic Lantern, again, I think we've seen this one. Yeah, lands you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color. That means all lands allow you to get 1 additional mana of any color. That's a pretty powerful card, particularly for mana cost. Alright. Okay, Soldier Token. Burrowing Razor Maw. Another Killzone Acrobat. Another Goblin Firebomb. Another Recommission. Another Curate. Another Thraxodemon. Another Dwarven Forge Chanter. Another Warlord's Elite. Unleash Shell. Or a Stone Seeker. Hulking Metamorph. Fallfell Vanguard. Skitterbeam Battalion 9 with Trample and Haste. Yeah, we've seen that one. We don't have many of them. I am probably looking forward to creating a deck that contains all of those massive mechas in them. Another Ichor Wellspring and a Forest land card. Alright. 2. So, this is the penultimate. The pack before the last pack. Alright. Alright, so... Okay, this one's just an ad card. Yeah, on both sides. That's the only time that has happened in 100 cards, so I'm pretty impressed. Another Deadly Riposte. another Coilless Rock, another Mishra's Juggernaut, another Branchwood Prowler, another Gixian Infiltrator, another Veteran's Power Blade, another Sentinel Stalwart, a blue machine over matter, yeah. Another Giant Growth, Bushwhack. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then put it into your hand, then shuffle, or the target creature you control fights the target creature you don't control. Obstinate Baloth. 4... Yeah, okay, we've seen that one. Okay. Giant Cindermaw. Another Steel Seraph. Another Liquid Metal Coating. And Falaji Vanguard, the creature human soul. Yeah, we've seen that one. This one is foil though. And now, here it is. The very, very last booster pack. Alright. Not to say that I haven't enjoyed the entirety of my time with you, but, you know. This is probably the longest that I've been on, you know. When I was doing my other streaming page, I regularly did 4-hour streams. I haven't been able to keep up with that, you know. Age is just creeping up on me, regrettably. But anyways, let's see. Power Stone. Fatalaji Archaeologist, Fatalaji Chain Dancer, Perimeter Patrol, Gixian Skullflayer, Survivor of Corville, Oriza's Rebuff, another Goblin Firebomb, another Race to the Ground, another Ravenous Gigamole, a Citronal Stalworth, green mana. Yeah, green mana. And Dreams of Steel and Oil. I think, yeah, this is only the second time we've seen this one. Single black mana sorcery card. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or a creature card from it, then choose an artifact or creature from their graveyard. Exile the top chosen cards. Alright. Another Suchi Cave Guard. Another Levitating Statue. Visions of Phyrexia. 4 red mana enchantment card. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play a card from exile this turn, create a tapped Power Stone token. Alright. And then, this is the final old school card. This is Phyrexian Revoker. 2 mana, artifact creature, Phyrexian Horror. As Phyrexian Horror enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Activated abilities of sources within the chosen name can't be activated. Alright. So, that's all she wrote. What probably amounts to something in the neighborhood of 30,000 individual cards. Well, maybe I'm highballing that one. Maybe something more like 3,000. And both in Pokemon and also Magic, and from 4 separate sets of Magic and and also probably roughly about 4 separate sets of Pokemon as well. So, thank you everybody once again for tuning in to Brainy the RPG Cat. I remain Brainy the RPG Cat. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I am definitely going to be on this coming Monday. So I'll be posting the weekly schedule sometime in the middle of the day on Monday. And so be sure to follow my Twitter page, twitter.com/Brainy the RPG Cat, in order to find out what I'm going to be doing. Also, thank you once again very much to our sponsors, Great Media Games, for For low prices on on TCG single cards, visit greatmedia.games and use the code 10finity at checkout for 10% off of your online purchase. Also, be sure to sign up for the Well of the Worlds Kickstarter. April 4th is coming right around the corner, which means the Kickstarter is going to go ahead and be launching soon. Be sure to sign up for the mailing list so that you'll be notified when the Kickstarter releases on April the 4th. So, also, yeah, thank you to everybody at All Seas Collectibles, the people who have been so kind enough in order to take in my trading credit and give me some decent discounts on the cards that I was showing you during tonight's stream. So yeah, I do want to thank them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a raid. Let's see, who do we want to visit right now? I think I would like to pay a visit to let me see, Psycho, next to Neko. So they might be new. Cal Cody Proctor, that might be interesting. So is Johnny Jelly Jaw is on, and so somebody that I haven't rated in a very long time is Griffin Moore. Right now they're playing a game called Superior. I know nothing about it, but this would be a good time in order to find out what Superior is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Griffin Moore channel. Oh, I saw you posting the links. Yeah, it's been a while. Go for it. So, alrighty then, everybody. So I will be back this Monday. I'm still trying to specifically decide what I'm going to do, but I will definitely be on Monday beginning at 7 p.m. MST. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a good night, everybody. And thank you very much for watching.